But is he the most underappreciated pure goal scorer that we have in the NHL?
He probably is. Yeah. He is a sniper.
Yeah.
He is just a pure sniper. And the beauty of Kyle Connor is he can score in a variety of ways. I mean, he's dangerous off the rush. I mean, because he's such great speed. You see him here, tracking, boom. Now, I feel bad here at Calgary. I mean, this is a tough look here for the Flames. I mean, you could defend a little better than that. But that's what he puts everybody on their heels. And then here he can get, look how quick that puck on his stick and off. Bang! In the net. So that's another way he scores. Gets it in front on the move, a little forehand, backhand. Again, that quick release, great shot. I mean, he has got all the tools to score 40, 50 goals pretty much on a yearly basis. He dominates in that way. You can see here, pretty significant numbers. I just love watching him because at any moment, Kyle Connor could change the dynamic of the game with his ability to skate and to shoot at such a high level.
He had an offensive, explosive season. So did his teammate Mark Scheifele. They're on a team that won the President's Trophy. The goaltender won the Hart Trophy.
Yeah.
The
power play was great.
The power play was great. Best defensive team in the NHL. Like, this team has a lot of things going. But the one thing that they are known for, they play good defense. Don't let that fool you. This guy maybe sneaks under the radar some nights from fans watching the game, but he is explosive offensively, and we saw it this year.
All right, Kyle Connor of the Winnipeg Jets coming in at number 25. We'll keep it rolling here on our Top 50 Countdown. Coming up next, the Summer of Sam strikes again. Another cup for the Panthers has a few of the Cats ranking pretty high on our list, including the guy who scored 4 goals in the cup-clinching game. That's next.
Every product Brunt makes is named after one of my buddies in the trades who inspired it and helped us design it. Matt Marin, Union Drywaller, needed a wedge boot with serious comfort. Tony Tora, Army veteran and jack of all trades, needed a pant that's built tough and versatile. And John Chevlin, contractor and business owner, needed a work hoodie that performs in any situation. Every step of our design process revolves around listening to the guys who actually do the work, because they've earned a seat at the table.
Don't stay too late.
I'll try.
Friday night, closing the books. Just a few more hours. That's not true. $120 for what? Gonna need some coffee. Uh-oh. Who authorized this? Did we pay this twice? Well, hello. Did Ramp just auto-code all the invoices? All the receipts are here. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. Love closing the books on time. Ramp. Love finance.
Cerakote revolutionized car care with its #1 best-selling rapid ceramic paint sealant. The unmatched gloss, slickness, and shine that you love now comes with an industry-leading 50-wash guarantee.
Introducing Cerakote's next-generation paint sealant, Rapid Ceramic Platinum. Just spray it on and lightly bump it to get incredible shine and professional results that will help your car stay cleaner longer. Look at the difference. With over 60,000 5-star reviews, you can trust Cerakote. Buy today for under $20.
You put everything into getting it right, from launches to milestones and team recognition. With expert support, quality products, and on-time delivery, 4imprint makes sure your brand shows up strong. 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
You're looking at Carvana's newest and proudest customer. So proud that we're teaming up to create Shackvana. Shackvana will be 100% online so customers can shop from anywhere.
That's so Shackvana.
Visit Shackvana or Carvana and buy your car today.
Hi, everyone. If you were injured in an accident, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. You can find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. I'm Gina Belich, along with Super Bowl champ and 2-time Pro Bowler Vernon Davis. So, Vernon, tell everyone watching who should call right now.
Well, Gina, if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. You can find out if you have a case and how much money it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Vernon. You know, the phones have really been busy. So what kind of calls have we been getting?
We're getting calls about all types of accidents, from car accidents to slip and falls, and so many others. So if you were injured in an accident, don't go at it alone. Call for a free case review and find out how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Vernon. You heard the man. Call now to find out how much money you qualify for.
This is exactly what NHL fans look forward to.
What a shot! Turn it up a new level.
It's impressive. It's bold.
High octane.
Can you kick it up to that next level?
Turn it up a new level. Turn it up a new level.
Welcome back to the Top 50 Players Right Now 30 to 21 show. We pick up our countdown at number 24. And that number 24 is this guy, Mark Scheifele. Scheifele recording a career-high 48 assists and 87 points this season while reaching the 30-goal mark for the 4th time in his career. He also played in all 82 games last season, just the 3rd time he's done that. His 336 goals are the most in franchise history. You take a look at the board here, and not ranked in 2024, so Mark Scheifele not just making our ranking, but in the top half of our ranking, coming in at number 24. And maybe adding fuel to that fire, not just leaving him off our countdown last year, but Team Canada leaving him off the Four Nations roster, the Olympics this year. Maybe a little added motivation for Mark Scheifele coming into this season.
Yeah, I think all these guys are going to take it that way. I mean, we talked about Nick Suzuki earlier and what he did, so that's more competition for a guy like Mark Scheifele. Yeah. And it's going to be tough for a Team Canada standpoint, but that's could be a motivating factor. This is a guy, I've liked Mark Scheifele over his career because he's got some good size. We know his passing ability. You saw him scoring goals. He's starting to do that more and more consistently. He's got a little mean streak once in a while, too. Yeah. I like that part of him. So he could kind of do a little bit of everything. For me, he's a really good #1 center. And I don't put him up there with the top centers in the league, but if you need a #1 center, Mark Scheifele's that guy. And he, again, in Winnipeg, had an incredible season.
Boy, there's a lot of teams that are looking for #1 centers that would love to have Mark Scheifele show up on their doorstep. Yeah. There's no question about that. I got to see the Jets early in the season in person.
Just couldn't get there in time. Avalanche keep the zone with Makar. That's offside. Landeskog could not connect with Cale Makar in time. 1:17 to go on the power play. They got Andrew Agozzino for what we believe is a rough at the end of the last sequence before we cut to break. Only one penalty handed out.
It was a bit surprising because it was a pushing match between Agozzino and Sage Weinstein right at the net front, and it looked to me like Agozzino might have gotten a one shot in towards the head of Weinstein, which is why he was the one that went to the box as more the aggressor on that play. But that was the type of shift that the Utah Mammoth can build off of. Defensive zone play leading to a rush, gain possession in the own zone, work it low to high, and a shot towards the net. Really hasn't been as much zone time as they would have liked, but that is a type of play that they can look at, point to, and say, that's what we got to do more of if they want to generate more than just a goal in this game.
Jack Drury applies the brakes on the near side, and Devon Taves could not settle down a hot puck at the right point, allowing Utah to make some changes. 50 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Mammoth. Last year, Utah's PK, 15th best in the league at around 79%. Avs were outstanding on special teams. This is stolen, however, by Carcone, shorthanded. He kicks it ahead to his stick. It's a 2-on-1. Carcone trying to lay it back. Pass across for Allard. Knocked away by Posh. Not sure if Carcone was trying to go across like he did, but it ended up on the stick of Owen Allard and was nearly a shorthanded goal.
Well, Michael had a lot of work to do considering there were a couple of players around him back-checking as he tried to enter the zone, but he made the play in the defensive zone by laying the entire length of his stick on the ice, taking away the pass, and that's what started the rush the other way. Another positive rush chance for Utah, and it was Michael Carcone using that speed and the quick agility. As those watching on SCG Plus and Mammoth Plus get a look, I think he wanted to try to go back and pass it to Olimata, but he maybe handcuffed himself, but he made a heck of a play last second to be able to direct that puck backdoor to Allard and set up, at least give him a chance across the crease.
Nice save by Isaac Posh with that left pad as well. One more second left in the penalty. Agozzino up and ready in the penalty box. Here he comes. We're at 5-on-5. Wrist shot off a stick high in the Avalanche zone. Pagansky could not keep that in, and so this wobbles down in front of Matt Villalta. 3-1 the score. Nice play by Marino to get around a check as well. Middleton steps in front of Iginla. Now Iginla takes him up against the glass. Megna on the far side gets this off the boards and out due to the lone man back. And Artem Duda has the puck as the Avalanche make some changes. Picked off at center by Gabriel Landeskog. He feeds one through and a shot on, ends up in the back of the net and trickles in off the stick of Tristan Nielsen. Great play by Landeskog in from the blue line, and Nielsen paid it off.
Well, just when you thought the Mammoth were starting to get a foothold into this game, here come the Colorado Avalanche, and it is a gorgeous pass. Backhand saucer from Landeskog, a nutmeg type of pass right between the legs of John Marino, and then Nielsen goes forehand, backhand as he's able to just cut in ever so quickly and slightly on Artem Duda. Forehand, backhand, 5-hole, and it's 4-1 for the Avalanche.
Undrafted out of the WHL, Nielsen has spent the last 4 years with the Abbotsford Canucks. That's the AHL team for Vancouver. Nielsen had 15 goals a year ago with Abbotsford. He gets one here to make it 4-1. Just under 100 seconds left in the second period. A second period that has belonged entirely to the Avalanche. Puck down below the goal line here in the Utah zone. Sharp angle shot, walled off by Villalta. Lipkin on the exit, misfires on a pass. Makar across. Sean Behrens spent 3 years here playing in this building at the University of Denver. Won a national championship 2 years ago. Douglas shoots wide on a sharp angle.
What a cool feeling that must be. To come back to your old stomping grounds and play a National Hockey League game. That's pretty special.
We are watching this game underneath 10 championship banners. The Denver Pioneers have won more national championships than any other collegiate hockey program. Perunovic skating in, shoots off the stick of Posh. Good look there for the Utah defenseman.
I may have played a few games in this building too, Mikey.
I think you might have won a gold plate, gold pan.
Second time's a charm.
With the Colorado College. Yeah, I've seen you break out that CC gear every now and again. We can get you on the ice.
It's dusty. It's dusty right now, I can tell you that much.
There's TJ Ginla. What can he do? Charging to the near post. He was sealed off by Behrens. Duda, left circle, drops it back. Marino fumbled the puck, and it comes back out to neutral ice. Sharply ahead and tipped off a stick into the Avalanche zone as time expires in period number 2. It was all Avalanche in the second period. Colorado scored 4 goals. They lead it 4-1. Coming up in our second intermission, we have the best of part 2, fresh ice. More of that on the way next. Then after the game, Adrian Denny will keep you busy while Nick and I hustle over to Ball Arena for the nightcap and game 2 of night 1 here in Utah's preseason. We still have 20 more minutes of regulation, though, to finish up here at Magnus Arena, and we'll get that to you on the other side of this intermission break. Enjoy fresh ice in the meantime.
What a way to start the long weekend. Nothing better than this, the NHL Entry Draft 2025 from the beautiful city of Los Angeles. We are downtown in LA live at the Peacock Theater.
Welcome to the 2025 Upper Deck NHL Draft. The New York Islanders select Matthew Schaefer,
Michael Misa,
Anton Frundell.
Here, when we get to Utah, are they going to go to the center or are they going to go to the power winger? For me personally, until Caledonia comes off the board, I'm going to keep pumping.
Oh, yeah, you love him.
I love this guy.
This is your guy.
I love this guy. I love him as a player. I love him as a person. I mean, this guy's awesome.
So now you're saying Desnoyers is the guy that should be getting his name called.
You guys good with that? Pick is in.
With the 4th overall selection in the 2025 NHL Draft, the Utah Mammoth are proud to select Daniel Deone.
To be
honest with you, I don't even remember when they said my name and I walked up the stage. Kind of blacked out a bit, and it was such a surreal moment, especially to be in LA there with the family and friends. To be able to kind of get that experience with them makes the moment even better.
He can do everything. He's a two-way center that can provide offense and he can play defense, and he put his team on his back as a 17-year-old, and we're really looking forward to him coming into Utah. So happy to get you. It's unbelievable.
So excited. Can't wait to get things started. Thanks a lot for your trust and belief.
It's an incredible opportunity for us to pick at 4, and even a more incredible opportunity to get you in our selection.
Thanks a lot. Can't wait to be in Utah.
Stefan. Okay, real big. My name's Chase. I'm a reporter.
You know, it goes by so fast. Everyone tells you to enjoy the moment.
What do you think about the new logo here?
What have you heard about the Mammoth?
Give us the scouting report on yourself.
But honestly, if I had to redo it, I'd probably try to enjoy it even more. But yeah, you try to get the most out of it, and it was awesome.
We were able to kind of get the player that we had targeted and we'd watched all year from start to finish, and he has the ability to become a top 2-line center in the National Hockey League.
Tusks up!
There's 2 parts of the draft. It's day 1 where you're picking at 4. Day 2 was more about getting players. That's when the real draft starts for me. As I always say, nobody's going to like your 7th rounder. If they did, he wouldn't be in the 7th round. So you're not going forward as an organization unless you get value picks in the 3rd to 7th round.
First experience in the city was awesome. You get told a lot of great stuff about Utah, the mountains, and how gorgeous it is.
Max, have you been to Salt Lake City before?
No, never.
Yeah?
First time.
First time?
First time, yeah. Excited to see.
It's when you get here and land at the airport that you realize how beautiful and how clean it is.
Most of the kids that come in here, and obviously him, they're so excited. They're just absorbing everything, and to come around and get to know some of the trainers, our staff, and kind of really dig into what it's going to take to make the NHL. He'll learn that at Dev Camp. As I say to the kids all the time, it's the hardest thing they'll ever do in their life is play in the National Hockey League.
My name is Michael Ravo, they call me Big Mike.
I am Max Pchenchka.
Dmitry Simashov. My nickname is Sima.
It's always a great feeling when you get to see your prospects walk in the door for the first time, and you haven't really almost seen some of those guys for almost a year.
Super excited to be here, excited to be back, excited to see my buddy Caleb too, so gonna be great to see him here. So thankful he got drafted to Utah.
Yeah, Smitty's he's a brother, to be here with him, and makes the moment even more fun.
Hey, it's about
hey, first confidence. This guy's a clown over here. He's my son right there. Being here, living with the guys, creating chemistry and, creating relationships is huge.
I'm excited to meet all the boys again, the staff.
Creating a good bond together just so, you guys can bounce off each other whenever need be. And I think that's pretty important.
Straight. Listen to my voice. Straight. Jump, straight. Jump. Left leg. Left. Yeah, a little bit. Nice. Yeah, good.
You gotta get it over the hill and then it'll come. This is an easier putt for the
That's it. That's it.
It's just so exciting. I think everybody can agree, just being here, being around everybody, the energy is just so ecstatic.
These guys are going to be sitting next to each other in the locker room one day on our NHL team, and those connections start through weeks and experiences like this, where they bond, they have laughs together, and they learn together as they go on this journey to being NHL players.
At one point in time, development camp was more of a see how tough you are and can you make it through the week. Now it's more about teaching. It's more about trying to get them to absorb the information that they'll need to become pros. A lot of these guys have the talent. They've just got to get the habits.
Big drive, push. Nice.
Looking forward to enjoy the moment and show who I am on and off the ice. to get that pro experience of seeing how it is, the environment with the team, and yeah, it should be really exciting.
Clock starts. So how we finish is how we start. Everybody good?
I think I have a good background. I want to learn to be a leader for the young guys.
See some reflection from the staff, what to work on.
We just want to get better and better every time you come back, and I think that's the goal for me this year.
We're going to get the players that we need that will get us over the hump, that will help us win a championship here in Utah.
How important is winning for you? The most important thing? What are you willing to sacrifice to win? Everything? Because you will have to give up a piece of yourself to win. A lot of young guys want to win, and you have experience, you have winning pedigree. A lot of guys had the opportunity to win, either for your country or for your junior team or in minor hockey and everything. But farther you go, farther you realize you have to give a piece of yourself. So there's a prize to go with the victory. We all want to win. We all want to raise the cup. But we need to be willing to pay the price to get there.
I think one of the best things that we can do for our young core is to continue to surround them with championship experience, teaching our young guys what it takes to be a champion, what it takes to win in those tough moments, what it takes to overcome adversity, to have the resilience necessary to be a champion.
You look like you have a couple new players in the pipeline here for you, but also just those couple of free agent signings that you've had today. How do you address all of those positions on this team, adding depth and strengthening this roster?
I think in the big picture, what we did today was tidy up the loose ends and make us a stronger team. And I think you're going to see that come training camp. And it's even part of this development camp. You see the talent that's on that ice. Those young kids are pushing. Now we've signed some free agents that are going to come in and push with our core. It's going to be probably the most competitive team we've had so far, and it will be the most competitive camp we've ever had here. So it's exciting times, and we were excited about the guys we added today.
First-time Stanley Cup champion.
You know what? I love the passion. I love the excitement. That's me to a T. I love that type of energy that people bring. The passion amongst fans, like that doesn't kind of scare me away. That actually kind of brings me closer, right? But that sense of pulse, right? That sense of behind the team, of that first real year. I mean, I had a similar feeling to that when I was first year in Vegas. What it means to be in a city for the first time, and you're kind of navigating how do we do things, and community engagement. Now the second year is kind of when you really start to ingrain yourself into the community, and that's something I'm excited for. There's so many good young players on this team, and being a part of that is going to be great. Being an older guy, try to help them in aspects of the game. I've heard nothing but great things about everybody, about the organization, the team, all the players. So I can't wait to get down, to be a part of this group, to get to work and start the season.
When you look over the entire season, what an inaugural campaign it's been.
What is the goal in year two? It's pretty simple. Take a step forward. I think our team had an incredible year. There was a 12-point plus we ended with compared to last year, the year before. And now it's about taking that next step. Can we get into the playoffs? Can we be a team that's competitive in the playoffs? And I feel like we've taken so many great steps, but now this is going to be the new challenge for us this year.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Magnus Arena for the third period of preseason game number 1. We are back underway in a 4-1 hockey game, Nick. And don't worry, if you're watching and listening, you're going to have two very capable, much more capable broadcasters handling the nightcap on SEG Plus in the game tonight. That'll be at Ball Arena. That'll be Matt McConnell and Dominic Moore. But for now, you're stuck with us. It is great to see.
It's great to see you, Mike.
Oh,
that's a new suit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right out of your closet, Mickey. It's snug on me.
It is great to see all of our incredible fans also watching on SEG Plus, Mammoth Plus. We've had the pleasure of interacting with you, so we encourage you guys to keep typing in the chat. Let us know your thoughts, what you think about the game, the season, what you think of Mike's new suit. He's also wearing a new pair of shoes, but all in all, just so nice to be back and get a chance to do what we love for the greatest sport in the entire world.
And 2 games tonight. It'll be a different roster coming up at Ball Arena later tonight. That puck drop's scheduled for around 7:30, so we're going to join you on the radio side as soon as we can after this game here. Until we can join on the radio, it'll just be simulcast with Matt and Dom, so they will be at the controls if you're listening on 97.5. And then me and Nick are going to enter light speed mode. We'll go ludicrous speed over to Ball Arena, home of the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see that second game as well. See a couple more guys in action. I know Logan Cooley's going to be playing, Sean Dursey. Number 6-7, Lawson Krause will be in action as well. So
I see what we did there.
That was for the kids out there.
Wrist shot there by Michael Kuntz. Ends up in the midsection of Isaac Bosch, the Colorado netminder. A minute into period at number 3. Magnus Arena, the site of our action here in the first game of the evening. This is typically the home of the Denver Pioneers. Nick, you are all too familiar with this bar. How hard is it to play in here?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, especially when the penalty coming up here. As Cole Baudouin took a
shot to the chops.
Yeah, I think he took a high stick right in the face from Ronnie Attard. And Baudouin, I mean, we're hoping that he's got all of his jibs still attached to his mouth. And it looks like that this is going to be a double minor. And for our newer fans, when you high stick someone in the face and there's an injury caused or a tooth is lost or there's blood, that's when you're going to get a double minor, as Attard was just trying to make he was trying to get out towards Baudouin, and you got to have control of your stick at all times. That's the name of the game. So we'll see here if Utah can start climbing their way back in it. You want to do it, you got to score in this power play.
So Utah has been given a double minor in their favor as this puck rockets out of play. Utah has its only goal on the power play earlier tonight. That was back in the first period. Michael Carcone, who also initiated the scoring last preseason. We were in Des Moines, Iowa for that game, Nick. I had just gotten to Utah a couple days earlier.
Are you sure it was a couple days? Maybe a couple hours?
Didn't even know you from Adam. And there we are, all of a sudden, right next to the Blues broadcast team. Joey Vitale and Chris Kerber calling the first ever Utah Hockey Club at the time game.
And that's why they pay you the big bucks, because you remember important things like that, Mikey.
This is Maverick Lamoureux. Made an impression in the NHL last season. Gives it over to Cam Hebig. Utah on the power play, but it's quickly taken back by Ivan. Ivan 3-on-2 up the ice. Here come the Avs. Ivan drops it back. Lamoureux was right there on the track and reels it back in for Utah. I think Mav's been really impressive with his offensive skill and offensive instincts here in the rookie showcase and now into the preseason. T.J. Ginla carries across the blue line. Loose puck in the slot. Out to the far wall for Cale Makar. Ginla knocks the puck away. Cale Makar took a stick up high from Lipkin. Penalty coming against Utah, and Makar is slow to get up. That's the last thing Avalanche fans want to see, is Cale Makar in discomfort in a preseason game.
Yeah, I heard a couple thousand gasps from those in Avalanche paraphernalia here at Magnus Arena, and Makar stops up. And
got him with an elbow.
Yeah, it was Lipkin who was throwing on the brakes as well, trying to get it in the way of Cale Makar, and that right elbow goes flailing behind him. Similar to your stick, you got to keep your body parts under and in control. A flaring elbow there from Lipkin, and good to see that Makar was at least able to get to the bench under his own power. And we sure hope that that he's okay. So now we're going to go to 4-on-4 action.
We'll be at 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. It's a 2-minute minor on Sam Lipkin. Lipkin, formerly a 7th-round draft pick. He was taken in this with the second to last pick of the 2021 NHL draft, but has been kind of an underdog in this prospect pool for Utah. We'll be at 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then Utah will continue its power play on the other side of this Lipkin minor. 4-1 the score. 2.5 into the third. Utah hasn't had anything cooking yet on special teams, and now we're back at even strength, if not full strength.
And the reminders in a 4-on-4 scenario is that as a defenseman, you have the other team's forward. And as a forward, you have the other team's defenseman. So a good stick there at the net front. It's man on man when it's 4 against 4.
Sean Behrens, the 3-year pioneer, over to Devon Taves, and now Val Nichushkin trying to dance around Olli Mata. Good work there by the Finnish defenseman. And Utah has the puck back with Artem Duda. 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the 4-on-4 action. Here comes John Marino. Marino across the blue line, down the wing into the skates of Kevin Connaughton, who fires a shot off a stick out of play. 55 to go in the 4-on-4. It's Connaughton out there with McCartney, Carcone, and John Marino. You mentioned Logan Cooley coming up later tonight. We're expecting to see J.J. Peterka as well, Dmitry Simishev. A couple of exciting newcomers and prospects.
Can't wait to see how some of those guys have developed over the summer. They've gotten faster, added different skill sets to their repertoire, and no doubt that Logan Cooley, aside from being just as fast as he was, if not a little bit last year, coming into this year, he looks even bigger. It looks like he's put on some weight, which is only going to help him as a center iceman in the corners.
So many guys last year for Utah had career highs under head coach Andre Turney in Utah's first NHL season, and we know that Turney has a really good track record of developing young players. Battle here at the Utah blue line. McCartney comes out of the pile with it. It's back with Sean Behrens. Here comes Behrens. On the left circle, shoots high of Villalta's glove. Here comes Lipkin out of the penalty box, and now it's a 5-on-4 for 50 seconds or so. Lipkin will join the defensive effort right now in the Utah zone. It's a Utah power play. Devon Taves, however, has the puck, fires a wrist shot. That was blocked, and it's flung down the ice. Not far enough for icing. Utah and Colorado both able to change. 30 seconds left in Utah's power play, but the Avs have the puck.
And on Sam Lipkin's way back to the bench, there was Jack Drury, who gave him a couple of hacks and slashes to let him know that he's trying to stand up for his teammate Cale Makar. So we still got 15 minutes left to go, so we'll see if anything transpires of that in the remainder of the third period.
Loose puck here in the Avalanche zone. 5 minutes gone by in the third. 4-1 game. Utah scored first. The next 4 have gone the way of the Avs. Adder comes out of the penalty box, and we are back to 5-on-5. So Utah is technically 1 for 4 on the power play here tonight. TJ Tynan, 13-year pro out of Orland Park, Illinois, revs it up. Adder wires this into the corner of the Utah zone. Tynan in the first one there. Duda marks him well defensively. Middleton pumps one towards the net. It was easily dismissed by Villalta. Kicked free by Kuntz. Baudouin knocked off the puck. Tynan for Colorado gives it up. And here is the check. Kuntz out to center. Angled ahead. Baudouin skating after it. And the linesman got plowed over on this near side, it looks like. That's why we had some oohing and eyeing. They gotta look alive down there. Just over 6 gone by here in the third. 4-1 score. Cole Baudouin. backhands this indeed. Baudouin had 28 goals his draft year, signed his entry-level contract in July of 2024. Blocked a shot and hurt his hand in camp with Team Canada last year and had to fight through an injury at World Juniors that season. Out at center for Maverick Lamoureux. And now we're going to have a scrap. Lipkin is going to have to answer, and it's the captain, Gabriel Landeskog, who's going after Lipkin following the hit on Makar. Lipkin trying to get an arm free. Landeskog with some uppercuts and sets Lipkin down on the ice. Gabriel Landeskog, the embodiment of leadership.
Well, the fight initiated by Gabriel Landeskog after the penalty. Sam Lipkin took on Cale Makar a little bit earlier. It was an elbowing penalty that had Makar shaken up. And look, I think you give credit there on both sides. I do. Gabriel Landeskog, captain, standing up for his friend and one of the best defensemen in the league. And you also got to give a lot of credit to Sam Lipkin for answering the bell. He didn't just skate away and turtle. So he answered the bell. And for some of our new hockey fans out there, that's the players policing the game. And now we can move on.
2 scraps in this one. Colorado leading 4-1, 13-15 to go in the third when we come back on Hockey Night in Utah. Keel in our SCG Plus chat had a nice message. Hey, Mikey, great suit, but no matter what, Nick says you don't need 90 of them, with a couple of emojis. Creek Keel, I have a question for you. Do you really think Nick only has 90?
I think that number might be a little light.
4-1 score. Avalanche leading. Shot up high that time by Carcone. Shrugged off by Posh, the Avalanche netminder. Lamoureux for Carcone, Utah's only goal scorer. Carcone circles back. Walks it to the blue line. His shot blocked out of the zone by Devon Taves. And Carcone has to race back to his own end to get the puck. Game 2 of our doubleheader starting in 10 minutes or so. Me and Nick are going to be a little late. So you'll have Matt and Dom on SCG Plus the whole time. You'll have Matt and Dom with you simulcast on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, to start before Nick and I get there, and then we'll take the reins on the radio side.
Last I heard, you were going to piggyback ride. We were going to piggyback ride our way there? Is that?
You are looking at a card-carrying member of the Lime Pass community. We're jumping on those scooters and zipping down there. Puck goes up and out of play with 12 minutes left in the third, 4-1. Again, coming up later here tonight, we'll get a really good look at some exciting players for Utah and for the future of Utah. Among them, the 6'6" Russian Daniil But, Another gigantic Russian, Dmitry Simashev. We will see J.J. Peterka in his Mammoth debut as well. We appear to have a penalty here. They're getting Curtis Douglas for an infraction. And Utah's on the PK here. I didn't see that, Nick.
Yeah. So it's going to be another power play here for the Colorado Avalanche, and a little bit more of a workout for the PK unit for Utah.
I believe the signal was cross-check here. That's what we're going to go with. So the Avs are on the power play where they've already struck once. Andre Turney no longer on the bench for the Utah Mammoth. Makar back out on the ice for Colorado. Turney has already taken the bus to get over to Ball Arena and coach that next group. So we have the Tucson Roadrunners head coach Steve Potvin, who is filled in on the bench. There's Pagansky, who shoots off the iron, and Austin Pagansky nearly made it 4-2 on that shorthanded rush. Speaking of Steve Potvin, he has seen Pagansky's work up close last couple of years in Tucson. Jam play in front of Villalta. Villalta makes one stop, loose puck in the slot. Nichushkin drags it out. One-timer, glove save Villalta on a steamer from Taves.
Tell you what, I know the Avalanche have scored 4 goals. 2 of those Matt Villalta really couldn't do much on, but here, holding his position in the crease well, and then as soon as that puck is released and Nichushkin's able to take it out, get it to the point, love the movement and puck tracking of Villalta. Didn't have enough time to get out and challenge on the top of his crease, but was able to move from that right post back to the middle, keep his positioning. And when you're a goaltender and there's a big load of traffic in front of you, you got to worry on your positioning. And if you don't know where it's at, you always got to filter back towards the middle of the net, which is what Matt did. A big-time save there through traffic.
How many saves are made by just being in the right spot?
A lot, especially with teams that go to the net and send it there consistently like the Avalanche do. The DNA of their main NHL team, and very apparently with a lot of their younger players that are appearing here in preseason game number 1.
Skin Zach in the chat says he's excited to see Peterka play and see how well he does. Penalty called on the ice. But
so are we.
Four to 1 the score. 10:35 left in the third. And a penalty called against Alex Barre-Boulet.
Yeah, so still with 34 seconds left on the penalty to Utah's Curtis Douglas. As soon as that 34 seconds ends, Barre-Boulet's high-sticking penalty is going to kick in, and it'll become a 5-on-4 power play for Utah.
About 10.5 left in the third here. Mentioned the radio broadcast coming up. That's going to be on 1280 AM and not 97.5 FM. So 1280 AM, but you can listen to it on the KSL Sports Zone app all the same. So right now it's a 4-on-4. Puck behind Bosch here in the Colorado zone. Flung out to center. Perunovic goes to a knee to knock it down. Oli Mata out there with Pagansky, Kuntz, and Perunovic. This is Perunovic again. He has specialized as power play quarterback. Excellent in these odd man situations. Utah now on a power play here for the next minute and 15 seconds. Agazino for Carcone, and now Cam Hebig down the wall. Carcone pursuing on Weinstein. Hammered off the boards. Felleber cannot clear the zone. Nice keep by John Marino, the Harvard product. Puck behind the Colorado net. Hebig spun around. There's Agazino. Low to high. Maverick Lamoureux waiting for it. Agazino. Near side hash marks, back out to Lamoureux, patrolling the blue line. Marino across the offensive zone. Carcone knocked off the puck. Nice strong play by Ty Felleber, and the Avalanche clear. 35 to go in the power play for Utah. TJ Ginla makes his way in before he was stood up by Adder. Baudouin across to John Marino, and then Mav fanned on a pass, and so this comes back out to center. Utah has to hit reset with a couple seconds left in the power play. Baudouin will try and carve his way in down the left wing. Puck taken back by the Avs, and Colorado clears this the length of the ice. Penalty time all but over. Here comes Barré-Boulet out of the box. Kevin Connaughton, the veteran defenseman, takes this in, shoots up high, and that is pinned against the lapel of Isaac Bosch. In a 4-1 hockey game, 8:29 to go in the third. Time for a break. Utah trailing by 3 here in the first preseason action of 2025. We'll get you more in just a bit here on Hockey Night in Utah. Here at Magnus Arena, 4-1. Colorado leads Utah. 8:29 to go in the third. Nick, so far shots 22-14 in this game in favor of the Avalanche, and they've been the better team throughout. They scored 3 goals in the span of 2 minutes to kind of take control of this preseason game. Marino shoots wide here in the Avalanche end. Has not been a lot of offensive zone possession time, at least not much that's been sustained by Utah so far.
Yeah, I think they've been in good spots at times, but just haven't had sustained pressure. And it was at the beginning of the third period where Utah looked like they were able to gain some energy, some steam, and just weren't able to capitalize on it. So look, the game has gone the way that it has. Colorado's been the better team, but Utah just hasn't been able to generate on some of the chances that they have had. And meanwhile, I know Colorado's up by 3, but Matt Villalta's had to make some big saves, because if not for him, the Avs could have 5 or 6.
Julian Lutz nearly had a break up the ice, but lost his footing over the blue line in his own zone. Utah making changes, as is Colorado. Little housekeeping note for you as well. We thought that Gabriel Landeskog had scored a goal on a tip earlier, but they have given 2 goals to Gavin Brindley, so they say that Brindley's shot was not tipped by Landeskog, who does have a fight in this game. Dropped the gloves with Sam Lipkin a little bit earlier. Those two are both still in the penalty box serving their fighting majors. 7:10 to go in the third. Loose puck in front of Villalta. Pagansky steps into Barons, who lost his glove. Barré-Boulet hands it off to Middleton, who snaps his twig. And here comes McCartney with Hebig. They left the puck behind. Daniil Gushchin darts in, spins, delays, feeds the middle where Tynan was waiting, but it goes behind the Utah net. Weinstein waiting for a left point. Felleber to Adder. Beautiful pass for Ivan, who takes it behind the net. Walled off that time by Perunovic, and Utah escapes the danger. They clear it all the way down. Will it be icing? No. 6.5 to go in the third. Ty Felleber. Iginla with a steal. Iginla darting in. Backhand pass in front. And that time Carcone was stonewalled by Bosch. Great looking setup by T. Iginla. Utah still in the offensive zone. This is Perunovic handing it off to Carcone. Wrist shot from distance by Agazzino is parried away by Bosch. And this is clear to center by the Avalanche.
That was a heck of a chance. Great puck protection from TJ Ginla skating through the middle of the ice, and he set up Michael Carcone backdoor, who tried to go forehand, backhand, and give credit as Posh was able to make a save, but a gorgeous looking play between Carcone and Ginla.
Nielsen whips one in and scores. That is his second of the game. A sharp snapshot from the right circle, and it's 5-1. Villalta's been so good all night. That one just kind of leaked through him. He got a piece of it, but not enough.
And I think that sequence kind of tells the story of how the game has gone, where Utah has had their looks. It was a Ginla and Carcone at one end of the ice, a 2-on-2 off the rush, which turned into a 2-on-1, not able to convert, and then here comes Tristan Nielsen the other way, and a goal that, yes, Matt Villalta will want to have back, no question, as it beat him short side, just under the glove. And the Colorado Avalanche are able to take a 5-1 lead with 5.5 to go.
Again, Nielsen, one of these pros here. You've got prospects and you have pros in some of these early preseason games. Nielsen's been playing pro hockey the last couple of years in the American Hockey League. Puck down to the Utah end, 5-1 the score. Dumped back in by the Avalanche as Villalta stops it behind his own net. Out at center, this is Curtis Douglas. Seeing in the chat some fans who are watching on SCG Plus really happy with that last play by Ginla, and rightfully so. I mean, that's the skill that we know he has. Remember, he's coming off that double hip surgery.
Yep.
Hadn't really played competitive hockey since December when he had that surgery. We got to see him in the showcase games, but again, those are glorified practices, and this is quite a bit more intense going up against some professionals out here.
Right, and when you have double hip surgery, you're sitting there thinking, geez, the recovery and the medicine has come so far, but is he going to be as quick? Is he going to have that explosiveness? And if anything, from last year's camp, I think he looks even quicker. And it's the first couple of strides where he's able to get that separation. And then once he was able to get a little bit of time and space, he kind of spreads out those legs, able to protect the puck, and he just laid a perfect pass right onto the twig of Michael Carcone. So whether it's on the forecheck, battling in the corner, taking the puck hard to the net by driving wide, or making quick plays, accurate plays under pressure in the middle of the ice where there's threats on every side of you, there's been a lot of flashes of a lot of promising things in this game from Tej, which continues what he has built through camp to this point.
He did play in 2 preseason games last year, had an assist, didn't flash a ton, and didn't play a ton of minutes either, but got his feet wet. Now he's on the quote-unquote top line in this preseason game out there with Agazzino and Carcone, 2 established pros.
And keep in mind, 2 years ago, 64 games for the Kelowna Rockets, he had 47 goals.
Yeah, he was on pace for around 50 last year.
Right, and so that's where he ends up again this year, which could very well be. There's no reason why he couldn't get 55 goals.
5-1 the score. Avalanche on top, 3:52 in the third when we come back here on Hockey Night in Utah. Just under 4 minutes left in this first preseason game of the year for the Utah Mammoth. And boy, does that feel good to say, the Utah Mammoth. It'll be so much fun watching these rebranded jerseys out on the ice in just a couple days' time in front of the fans at Delta Center. For now, they're the whites of last year, those white sweaters with the Utah diagonal across. Villalta, speaking of sweaters, takes one off the chest right there in the Utah zone in a 5-1 hockey game.
And I don't know about you, Mike, but I really like the fact that the white jerseys stayed the same. I mean, I love the fact that when this team goes on the road, they can represent the great state of Utah and have it proudly displayed across all their chests.
Ryan and Ashley Smith have made it a point from the get-go. This team is for the state of Utah. Marino slaps one off a stick wide of the Colorado net. Andrew Agazzino onto the puck.
And every decision they've made before and after then has made good on that promise to the entire state of Utah. So I know I speak on behalf of us when I say we owe a massive debt of gratitude for everything they've done for us and bringing the National Hockey League to Utah and making them a team on the ice and in the community that everybody who likes hockey feels that they're accepted and feels that this is a team that they can be very proud of what they're doing both on and off the ice.
A Clayton Keller jersey just got that puck up in the stands that went out of play. There's a couple Mammoth jerseys out in the crowd here tonight.
It's Mammoth Nation. They're worldwide.
It's the Rocky Mountain rivalry. Face off in the Mammoth zone. It's also just more efficient for a broadcaster to say Mammoth than the Utah Hockey Club every time. So I'm grateful for that. Ole Mata and Maverick Lamoureux in their own zone. Utah trying to break the puck out here. 2:20 to go in the third period. 5-1 the score. There's been some good, there's been some bad here tonight, as the way things are in the preseason. 2:13 to go in period number 3.
So look, I think what do you pull from a game like this, right? You're losing 5-1. You know, I do think there were some promising moments from this game. I think it goes back to something we talked a little bit about earlier in terms of Utah's had their chances. I mean, this could very well be a 4-4 game right now. But the reality is that Utah just has had a tough time executing, finishing around the net. Some defensive zone breakdowns led to wide open looks for Colorado. But I think when you look at the player-specific styles of this game, I think it's been a really good game for TJ Ginla. I think Ole Mata has looked steady. I think John Marino's made a couple of good plays. So as those older guys continue to get their skating legs back, to get their game conditioning back, because game condition, very, very different from skating in practice against your own teammates. So look, yeah, okay, the game isn't going to go the way that you want. It's preseason game number 1. You're only going to be able to go up from here. You know, but I do think individually there were some guys that are going to push for a roster spot, or guys that are going to be on the team that had a couple of good games here tonight.
And talent-wise, these rosters are relatively comparable that we're seeing here in this first preseason game between Utah and Colorado. Although Utah does not have a Cale Makar, nor do they have a Gabriel Landeskog. I do think the Avalanche have a couple more legitimate pros in the lineup. And when I say pros, I mean just professional hockey compared to some guys for Utah that haven't really established themselves either at the AHL or the NHL level. Yeah. But you get a lot of these guys from the AHL. Think of like a Tristan Nielsen, who has 2 goals here tonight, who has played hockey at a high level, maybe hasn't been an NHLer, but can still thrive against 20 and 19-year-olds who are just getting their first real taste of what it's like to go up against men. Maverick Lamoureux, right point, inside of 40 seconds left in this game. Puck in the Colorado zone. Avalanche get to it with Drury. They're hoping that he becomes their 4th-line center. High shot that time from Adard. Daniil Gushchin bothered by Aginla in the Utah zone. Ben McCartney gets to it. Pedals to center with Mata and Agazzino. 13 seconds left. Puck in the corner. This rolls through the slot and back out the near wing. Avalanche clear, and that should just about do it. Nick, final thoughts on this one. Preseason game number 1, final score 5-1.
Yeah, I think there were some solid performances from a couple of young guys on the roster. I thought Michael Carcone was very noticeable in terms of his speed, getting it on the forecheck. Obviously, he had the first goal of the game on the power play. Could have very well had 2 with a nice interchange play, give and go with TJ Ginla here in the third period. And look, I know there were 5 goals scored on Matt Villalta, but I thought there were some really positive things to build off of for him, because if not for him, Colorado could have very well had 6 or 7 goals in this game. So yes, the game, the score doesn't finish the way you want, but in preseason game number 1, I felt like from some of the older guys, they looked solid, they looked ready to go. Guys like Oli Mata and John Marino and Michael Carcone. Also a couple of good games from the young guys. And another guy, keep an eye on Artem Duda. I think he is going to make a real case to push for a roster spot. And even if maybe he doesn't make the roster for opening night, he will be one of those guys you are going to want to keep tabs on as the season goes on in case of injury or bad runs of form for defensemen on the team, that he could be one of the first call-ups, along with the likes of a guy we're going to see in the next game in just a couple of minutes as soon as you and I take the Hilltop Express over to Ball Arena, a guy like Dmitry Simishev, who, if he doesn't break camp with the team, I do think he'll be one of the first call-ups on a need-to-be basis.
Carcone had a goal. Lipkin and Douglas each had a couple of scraps. 5-1 final. Nick, it's time for you and I to jump on our horses, saddle up, and strike out on a trail, my friend. We got to make it to Ball Arena.
Giddy up, Mikey, and thanks to all of our great fans for listening and watching. It was awesome to be able to interact with the SCG Plus and Mammoth Plus chat. We absolutely do have the best fans in the league, so big thanks to everybody for watching and participating.
On the radio side, we're going to drop it off with Adrian Denny. He will handle things for you until Nick and I get situated at Ball Arena. Should just be a hop, skip, and a jump to downtown Denver, but we'll leave it in AD's hands from here, and we'll join you in just a little bit for Game 2 of our doubleheader to start the preseason. Thank you, Will. Thank you. Good job.
You look at the kind of role he's got a real shot at being an NHL player for a long time. It might not be right away, but the role that he could play as a force down the middle, center ice position, maybe not in a top 6 role, but a valuable piece of any good team. You need guys like that can be strong defensively, protect pucks well, and still make plays.
And Tullio will get one in, a youngster upended that time, Ty Tullio, and organizational fit, and we talked about that a lot last season, Dom, and know your role, right? And sometimes you have to adjust, and there are players on this roster that had to do that last season.
No doubt about it. As we look at Lawson Krause getting in on the forecheck, he was one of those players who did exactly that last year.
Marty Necas now for Colorado. Look to play it across.
Another thing to keep an eye out in these preseason games is
Necas shoots and a stop Vitek Vanacek.
You keep an eye on the matchups, right? For both teams. So obviously it's a mixed lineup. You've got some lines that are mostly NHL proven players and some that aren't. And so at any given point, you're going to see either 2 NHL caliber lines going against each other, or you're going to see a quote-unquote mismatch. And I think those are the times where you want to see how these guys that are unproven prove themselves, right? So every shift is an opportunity to do that. So if you're on that bench as one of those young guys, in some respects, you want to be looking forward to a chance to play against a guy like Marty Necas on the Avalanche, so you can prove yourself against the highest caliber competition.
Yeah, and I would say that the lineup here tonight at Ball Arena is a little heavier in terms of experience than the lineup earlier today at Magnus Arena down at the University of Denver. And Necas will bring it back for Colorado.
Cooley saw Dmitry Simashev coming down from the point, just didn't put enough on that pass as he sort of feathered it softly into the slot.
Turn back the other way. Back out high for it, Jason Poland.
A good stick there from Simashev, disrupting that pass.
This one sent all the way back in. And the Avalanche will look to set it up. Sam Malinsky, he was solid last year. He played the most games of a season in his NHL career, and he'll skate it out. Mark Sendin, and he sends it in as it's played around.
You're on fire already, Matt.
Sinichka, it's early. Don't forget your comments and questions. Leave them in the stream, as this one will be played back in.
Why don't you ask us who bought lunch today?
You did. I offered. I had the card out, and they would not accept it. I owe you one, partner. Is this one over the glass and out of play?
Now, I mentioned the areas that, the team is focused on in the preseason in order to hit the ground running on opening day. It's, the young players proving themselves was number one. Obviously, establishing that chemistry with the new guys is another area. The last area, Matt, systems, particularly defensive systems, getting everybody dialed in on the same page in terms of the reads they make collectively as a group. Going through summer hockey, there's really no defense, right? Guys are playing really loose scrimmage type situations, and so you really got to work at it. And this year, that was a real area of emphasis. The first 3 days of camp, the coaches spent a lot of time getting up and running with respect to the systems of the game. And this early games now, it gives them a chance to have game situations and learn from video as well.
So Holy Ollie is right back into the chat, and whoever that person is getting a lot of airtime today, but that's okay, says Matt and Don.
Is the potential of that Logan Cooley line, right? We kind of know how dangerous Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz, and Barrett Hayton can be. They've proven it, but the untapped potential with those other young guys is something that we will have the privilege of watching evolve over the course of this Utah Mammoth season.
Ian Cole will get it out. Played right back to center ice, sent in by Ty Tullio. Avalanche will go after it.
I can't emphasize enough how lucky we are going to be to watch those three players at Delta Center all season long.
And they gave up a lot to get Peterka in that deal with Buffalo. Michael Kesselring, the defenseman, Josh Doan, the winger. Somebody told me there's no such thing as a free lunch except for maybe today as Yamamoto sends one in. But if you want something good, you got to give up something good, right?
Oh, it really is true. I think the reality is it could work out, really well for both teams, Matt. And when you think about the degree of depth that Utah has on the defensive end now, especially you're bringing over young players like Simashev, who's got a chance to be an important piece for a long time. Maverick Lamoureux played NHL games last year. He's obviously a highly touted prospect as well. They've got a deep prospect pool, and deep pool as we get our first penalties here in front of the nets. Lawson Krause.
Yeah, and now they're pushing and shoving. And first stop of the game, Josh Manson right in the middle of it.
Yeah, Lawson Krause actually, before our viewers joined us, got engaged physically in the opening shift. And so he has been into it from the get-go. Not surprisingly, one of the leaders of this group, showing his intensity early on.
So he'll go to the penalty box along with the defenseman Josh Manson.
And it was Manson actually on that first shift of the game that got tangled up. It was right off the opening faceoff. Manson and Krause got tangled up and exchanged a few jabs, and they continue to go at it here more than 12 minutes into this game.
By the way, the referees tonight, Brandon Schrader, you just saw him, Kyle Raymond as well, Killian McNamara and Travis Garlitz on the lines here tonight in Denver. Don't forget, if you have any questions about training camp, you want to leave us a comment, go ahead and do so. Dama, you're looking at some.
Yeah, there are a couple questions about the new practice facility. Boy, if you haven't watched some of the content out there that gave the sneak peek, it is truly, truly out of this world. The Southtown facility for the Utah Mammoth, by far and away the best in the National Hockey League.
146,000 square feet. I had to look at that a couple of times. It is massive. Just terrific. Shot over the top by Malinsky. That might have been deflected off the stick of Jack McBain. And now Natchez back out high, just being watched there by Sean Dursey. Good takeaway, forcing the puck to the corner, and now Ian Cole will play it back, and Dursey will go after it.
Yeah, think about Dursey too, how focused he is here, having missed so much time last season. Those who don't know, we had some travel delays getting here to Denver today, and nevertheless, Sean Dursey had a smile on his face all day long, just excited to have the opportunity to play an NHL game. That's the perspective he gained from missing so much time last year. Nice spin move from Simashev there from the point.
Out high, and now DeSimone. Circling is Simashev. Only a matter of time for Dmitry Simashev. I think he's been terrific in camp. Right back to the front and sent over the top. A real good look there for Nick DeSimone, and played in behind then at Colorado. Good force, good pressure here by Utah. Boots got it. And Boots shoots, and it's covered up by Miner.
Yeah, good shift there from the Mammoth. Simashev was a big part of it. Controlling the puck, everyone moving off of each other.
What do you like about Simashev's game?
Well, first of all, that last shift was more of a showcase of what he can do offensively, but really one of his best strengths is his defensive play, which a lot of times the defensive side kind of takes longer to evolve, but he really shuts down plays quickly. He's got tremendous reach, great anticipation. Those are really, really important qualities that I think are going to give him a leg up for making himself a household name sooner rather than later.
Another 18 seconds left in the 4-on-4 right now.
And then you also see what he can do. I mean, spinorama move there, making some plays, good hands as well. So a lot of upside with Simashev.
Played down low by Max Zuber, and in behind the net, Boots got it.
Nice little move there. Hip fake from Daniil Boot.
Sinichka down to the corner for Gabe Smith.
Not so easy to do at 6'5".
Yeah, nice. Can certainly move. Parker Kelly, a Colorado forward. Smith goes in to take a look. Sinichka has him all tied up. And now Smith has to go to the bench. He lost his helmet as this one will be played in. By the way, hello to all the listeners at 1280 KSL Sports Zone. Adrian Denny back in the Mountain Blue Studios. It's a doubleheader for Adrian. He's the hardest working man in showbiz.
That's for sure. And let's not forget Mammoth Daily, the podcast that both Adrian and Mike Folta are working so hard. It's just phenomenal. So your hardest working man, to say the least. If you haven't checked that out, please do wherever you get your podcasts.
And by the way, we are taking a feed from Colorado on all the video here, so it's basically what they're putting up on their arena scoreboard. That's typically how streams work. I hope you're enjoying it, and just so great to have Mammoth hockey back and on the airwaves as we get a touch-up here and an icing call.
Brings me back to my early days in the broadcast business, Matt, when we were calling games during COVID. And same kind of situation. You don't really control the replays. You just kind of take what's given, but a pleasure to be here with you.
And by the way, we will be back tomorrow night on Mammoth Plus and Utah 16 for the game in Anaheim. And it's funny because preseason's a little bit different. We talked about how it's different than regular season. All the travel in preseason is out and back in the same day. So we'll head back to Salt Lake City tonight and then get right back on the Bird tomorrow and go to Southern California.
Yep. And just getting back to the work of Adrian and Mike Folta with the Mammoth Daily podcast, if folks are interested that haven't already checked it out, there's a good interview with, as they get a chance on goal here, nice little pass out of the corner from Yamamoto, shot on goal from McBain, but there's a great interview with Lee Stempniak, who's Director of Player Development. I spoke to Lee earlier today, got some insight around some of the prospects, and obviously you can catch more insight from Lee if you check out the podcast.
We'll take a quick break here. 4:31 to go in the opening period. 6-2 the shots favoring the Mammoth, but no score here tonight in Denver. All right, back at Ball Arena, no score late first period of play. We have more questions in the chat from M&M 417. Dom, what's the one thing in the new training facility that you wish you had when you were a player?
2 rinks. I mean, it's just fantastic to have 2 ice sheets available. We saw the team making such good use of it, too, where they're shuffling back and forth on fresh ice, but the more ice, the merrier, if you ask me. But there's a long list of things. I tell you, Matt, even when we did the Hard Hat Tour back in the early summer, still a lot of work to go at that point. That was the first day since I retired that I felt like, man, I wish I could come back.
Well, you look like you could still play, for crying out loud, right? I mean, so you got to cover that time by...
Yeah, it's a lot safer up here in the booth with you.
Hasty Medic, 71. So Hasty Medic, like he rushes to serve the community, right?
In the ER.
What player do you think has improved their game the most this offseason? You mentioned Cooley getting bigger.
Yeah, that's a great question. Time will tell. It's to a man, though, the degree of focus. Logan Cooley said it the other day at Media Day. No one needs to motivate us. We are already motivated. And I get a sense that is true for every guy up and down the lineup. I mean, having been close to the playoffs last year and knowing, as I said, that they were 4 wins short of pulling it off, 4 wins short, the degree of motivation that this team collectively has is through the roof.
Well, if you're talking 4 more wins, I'm going to get the calculator out here. Good look there by Peterka. I'll be sent in behind the net for boot.
You're not allowed to use AI, Matt. This is,
8 additional points divided by a 6-month season. That's 1 1/3 points additional per month. If you divide that by 4 weeks, you're looking at a third of a point better by the week. It's that razor
the
thin.
margins are so small, and that's why the attention to detail is so high, and the focus level. And you talk to Andre Tourigny, he wants his team to be ready to go the minute the puck drops on opening night, not a second later. And the reason why is because of exactly what you said. There is no margin for error.
A veteran group out front. Jack McBain winning the draw. Good keep of the line by Zuber, and he'll be sent in behind the Colorado net. Under 4 minutes to go in a scoreless first here tonight, Ball Arena. Ironically, this is where the Mammoth will open the regular season on October the 8th. Out high, Zuber shot through traffic. Oh, Jack McBain, that time he and Manson getting all tied up. Something I've noticed here, the intensity of the net front so far in the period.
Yeah, the urgency to get there. And scoring goals, something that definitely an area of focus, an area to improve going into this season. You look at the underlying numbers defensively for Utah last year, they were quite good all season long. They want to obviously continue that, but also figure out how to way to get that all-important goal when they need it a little bit more often.
Puck is moved along. Smith, great effort there, got it out. Sammy Walker will chase it in behind the net. And taken away by Malinsky. You know, we've had a lot of great questions in the chat. Can I give you one?
Of course you can. Always. You don't even need to ask.
Well, I like to be polite. If you're general manager Bill Armstrong, what is the evaluation in preseason in a game for a young player? Whether they're 2 years away or 2 weeks away.
You know, you're taking stock of a lot of things, right? Like, everyone here is here for a reason. They bring something to the table, so I think you want to see, can they do what they...
Natchez is in, he shoots, oh what a stop. Vanacek, and they swat away,
that's gonna
and it rolls in. That might be Brock Nelson's goal. It's 1-0 Colorado.
This was Martin Natchez, skilled playmaker, elite player. Was making his way up the ice and was outside and got around the corner right there. You see Daniil Boot was coming back to play him. If you're Boot, a little bit of a teaching moment there. He got stuck on the outside, meaning he got towards the boards from Natchez and gave Natchez the middle of the ice, and that's where Natchez created the advantage. So if you're Boot, the key is to keep that Colorado player to the outside, protect the middle of the ice at all times. So a little bit of a learning moment for Boot, and it's a 1-0 lead for Colorado.
Yeah, it looks like Arturi Lehkonen will get credited with the goal. Yeah. Brock Nelson will get an assist.
Yeah, credit to Lehkonen, too, for not giving up on the play. That puck looked like it was underneath Vanacek, but he kept playing until the whistle goes and got rewarded.
I got a little bit of clutch and grab in behind the net there on the icing call. Lehkonen unassisted at 17:59.
Might call it unassisted because it was hung up in Utah Mammoth control there for a moment before it trickled in, but it was Marty Natchez that made that play after he crossed the blue line.
So 1-0 here with 1:44 remaining in the first period of play.
And you got to figure that will motivate that line. Daniil Boot, JJ Peterka, and Logan Cooley, they want to show what they can do against top quality opposition. They'll hope to bounce back here.
Now that McBain line goes back out with Lawson Krause and Kyler Yamamoto.
This the other proven NHL caliber line for Utah here.
NHL combo on the back end, too, with Ian Cole and Sean Dursey.
Yeah.
Now brought back to center ice. McBain. Just trying to throw to the front. He did. Right there, Yamamoto, and it's covered.
That was a great example, Matt. The way that puck just worked its way up the ice was a great example of what NHL players look like. There were 3 successive plays where they made, the first play was an outlet pass through the triangle, then another great little drop pass at the blue line, and then a give and go. All 3 plays that were NHL level plays that got Utah up the ice and created that shot on net. And so, you ask me about what, general manager Bill Armstrong's looking for. Well, he's looking for the ability to make those detailed plays that only NHL players do from those young guys on a consistent basis, the way that Jack McBain and company just did. The little things that separate.
There's a chance Peterka fanned on it. Good recovery. Peterka's got it. J.J. Peterka to the front. Oh, he's trying to set it up there for Daniil Boot. And a shot there, Cooley, and it's stopped.
Right on cue, the response from the Cooley line I was talking about, how they would want to come back with some urgency, and they do. Great puck recovery from Peterka after losing it, so a little bit extra spring in this line step after giving up that goal.
Well, Cooley will go after it again here on the faceoff. Controlled by the Mammoth. Cole deflected wide.
I'd like to see Logan Cooley shoot that puck. It was won so cleanly to him.
Parker Kelly over the line, under a minute to go here, period 1 at Ball Arena in downtown Denver. Be back with you tomorrow night from Anaheim on Mammoth Plus and Utah 16.
And a quick hello to Doug Foster.
Who?
Chopper Hemming and Breezy, who will be with us tomorrow night, part of our broadcast crew in the truck.
Yeah, they were en route to Anaheim today.
And a big thank you to Adam Hill and Jamil Hawkins and Carly Bullock, who got us all set up and running here today for this doubleheader.
Yeah, doing great work. Couldn't do it without them. Zuber. And right back through center ice. Sinichka. Played across. Smith. And that's going to do it. The horn sounds. End of 1. Well, your thoughts, Don? Probably what you would expect for a preseason period of hockey.
A good quality period. I thought there were a lot of good plays from both sides. I thought, the skill level was high. The execution was high, particularly for Mammoth players after having gone through bit of a disruption to the routine today. So let's see how things build in the second.
So we've reached our first intermission, and by the way, if you haven't seen the series yet, now is your opportunity. Dom and I are going to step away a little bit, but we're going to bring you fresh ice, and it's been just a tremendous series of kind of a behind-the-scenes look inside the Utah Mammoth organization and SEG. So we hope you enjoy that. We'll step out and join you for the second period here tonight in Denver.
Draft only a few days away, and I was wondering, could you touch on the process that starts even before the combine, but maybe this past month? What does your team and the organization focus on, from meetings, combine, taking players out to dinner, all the way until draft night?
I've always said it's a process. Like, you got to follow the process. It's really getting the best list from your area scouts and your head scouts, and exploring who you're going to get at the range you're at. You exhaust the process, as I call it, of going through every single player, meeting them at the combine, going through their testing, going through their video, reading all the research that your staff has done on them, and we love to get to know them as much as we can.
The faster you pedal, the harder it is. And every minute, I'm gonna have you do 5 RPMs faster. 70 RPMs to start, and we go till you can't anymore. Push through.
You know, we don't want any surprises on draft day, so we dig deep. If you have a player sometimes that ends up being your captain, it's not an accident that that happens. You know, you can see in an early age the leadership and the qualities that these particular young men have, even when they're, 15, 16, 17. Most times when you're successful and you're drafting someone that overachieves or becomes your captain or leads you to a championship, it has to do with their personality. So you have to do a lot of work in that.
What would you attribute to your success? How have you gotten to this level?
My desire to win at any cost is probably a big thing, but the law of attraction, I've always kind of worked with it without knowing what it was, but my mentality is probably the main factor though.
I had an epiphany.
That's serious.
An anxiety attack. I came to the conclusion of who I like, and then I had a conclusion is that there's no f***ing way that guy's gonna be there at 4. Caleb.
Yeah, we have a ton of momentum right now as an organization. Building off our inaugural season, we've got a core with tremendous skill and speed. We're looking to add some additional depth, some leadership, some championship experience to take our group to the playoffs and when we get there to contend.
I think a winning culture is really about the fight inside that locker room to be the best. And a Stanley Cup team is 50% drafted for, 50% traded for, and it's a combination of those two groups coming together to have that fight inside the locker room. They're not going to roll over. They're going to fight right to the death.
JJ Peterka right down the middle.
The one thing that I've learned about him and from watching him over the years is that, he's got a unique ability to create a ton of speed down the wings, and he can beat goaltenders from distance, and that's one of the things that you like about what he can do.
Peterka's got a lane, scores! Hey, JJ!
I think he's a competitor. He's 23, he's young, he's fast, he's hungry to make a difference, so he's going to have an opportunity to come in and prove himself here and have good impact on our club.
JJ, obviously this last season was the inaugural year for the Utah Mammoth. I'm just curious, as a player that was on the outside for that's now coming in, what stood out to you about Utah?
Just seeing how they were welcomed. That was pretty cool to see how excited the fans were, and then also when we played in the building, how loud the fans were, how good the atmosphere in there was.
And we are ready to go as Utah tries to sweep the season series against the Buffalo Sabres.
How much skill they have, how easily they beat guys at one-on-one, one-on-twos, and obviously the plays they make, even against us last year. And yeah, like I said, just how fast the game was.
Thompson trying to dangle, nowhere to go. Zucker goes across, shot to goal. Peterka, and he's tied it at 1.
I remember that we lost that game last year.
Good look by Peterka. Oh, what a stop! He snares it around their feet. Crazy finish to this one tonight at Delta Center. Utah will take it, and this was a must-win if I do say so.
It was cool to see, and now even more exciting to be part of that.
How does Peterka add to what you guys are building and trying to make the playoffs moving forward?
Well, I think it's one of those things where, every little piece of momentum helps. I think, we were able to get in and get the 4 pick, and then all of a sudden, we were able to swing this deal, and we were able to sign our 2 top prospects, Boot and Simashev, coming through the door. So now we got to go out and hammer it at the draft. But it's certainly, there is a lot of momentum with our club.
We went from 14 to 4, and the talent level changes a lot when you do that. Cale Makars and the Peter Angelos and the Yzermans and the Kachucks have all been picked at 4. And you get excited about that talent level that can get you over the hump. We've gone from A to B in the rebuild. That's where we are. We're at B. What's next is C. That's the cup. So we've gone from the rebuild to the build. And we couldn't be in a better spot to be picking at 4 to complete that build. This pick has the ability to get us over the hump and on our way to competing and winning the Stanley Cup. Remember this, we won the lottery. Now let's win the draft, gentlemen. Let's win the draft here.
You know, we're serious about this, all right? I mean, we want to bring a Stanley Cup to Utah.
This facility is going to be the #1 place that the community interacts with our brand. An opportunity to come and watch our players practice, an opportunity to come youth hockey, community hockey, public skating, to be on the same ice that our players, their heroes, are skating on, training on every single day.
This is sweet. Walking through with about 3 or 4 of these guys who were new to our team this year, and this is their first day. First day I met them, it's pretty cool.
It's nice.
Oh my.
Spectacular. It's a state-of-the-art facility. I believe it to be the best in the National Hockey League.
Pretty sweet. They put this up quick, hey?
It's huge for this community to grow hockey here in Utah.
Real big.
Just the details, the amount of time and effort that everyone involved had to go through to put this together, it's pretty special.
I should just live here. We told the players a year ago that we would build this for them when they came up here, including, you know, the guys. We want all of these players are new to Utah. We want this to be a place where they want to be all the time. But, you know, when they're like, hey, I don't even want to go home because it's so amazing here.
They said they were going to get it done, and they got it done. And it seems to me like they haven't missed anything, so it's been pretty cool.
forget, you could join the SEC Foundation at Top Golf in South Jordan on September the 26th. Play Mammoth players, enjoy food, drinks, and a custom gift. Scan the QR code to grab your spot today. And get ready for the fall 3-on-3 hockey tournament as well, presented by G2G Protein Bar. It's coming up November the 1st. And every team is guaranteed 4 games. Players receive a tournament T-shirt, and the champs score Mammoth tickets and a hat. Registration is open now through October the 26th with early bird pricing through October the 5th. Don't miss out. Early bird pricing, Dom, and you know I like a deal. And you know what's been a cool deal tonight?
I was just thinking about you taking our money at Top Golf last year when we went there on the road. Do you remember that?
I do remember. Where was that? Was that
Nashville, maybe?
That was Nashville. Yes, that was Nashville on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I think I picked up the tab on that.
I think it was Masters Sunday, the final round that day.
It was Masters Sunday, and then we went and watched the Masters.
Yeah.
Good memory. That's good. You're a lot better than me. Okay. One of the questions from OG Utah Hawk. Question for Maddie, and I'm going to throw this one out to you too, Dom.
Yeah.
Where or what has been your favorite dish or restaurant in Utah? What? Mateo for me is hard to beat.
Well, we got to talk about Mateo as the MVP today, right?
Oh, yeah.
Delivering meals to the airport when we were experiencing our delayed flight. Mateo himself carrying in a huge tub full of delicious entrees for the players to get their energy so that they can play a good game.
It was amazing. Mammoth's biggest fan. Question for Matt and Dom. What's been your favorite spot that you visited since being in Utah? Well, there's a lot of them. Park City is great. My wife and I, a few weeks ago, we were up and went to Midway, behind Park City there. Had an opportunity at the end of the season to go to Zion. Amazing. Utah is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that goes without saying. I'm going to pick a Mammoth-themed spot, though.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been to the Natural History Museum of Utah up by Red Butte Gardens,
right?
Absolutely phenomenal. Including lots of great information about the mammoth. I take my daughters there multiple times a week because they love it. It's a great spot. And of course, there's a mammoth hunt on right now as well where you can look for little...
For having the entire crew out to your...
That was a lot of fun.
For having the entire crew out to your...
That was a lot of fun.
Palatial estate on Friday night. Absolutely fantastic.
How did you do on the bocce ball?
I won. Adam Hill, our pregame show producer, we dominated. Oh, no. That was actually Will Trubish. Go ahead, Adam.
Perfect. Well, fire away again with more questions if you got them.
Just about set here to begin the second period. And we are ready to go. Jack McBain will try to play it into the corner. Ends up in behind the net. So just one goal, Arturi Lekanen in the opening 20 for the Colorado Avalanche. They lead the Mammoth 1-0 as we'll get a whistle here. Puck played with a high stick.
I talked about, the areas of focus. Head coach Andre Tourigny has been then, they'll be able to digest some of the video and hopefully get everybody quickly on the same page as they move through each of these exhibition games leading up to the season.
Puck out for Peterka, and he moves it along. Logan Cooley quickly at Minor. And now Cooley with it again. Sharp angle bid. And that's denied by Minor, who former Utah Grizzly. And Josh Manson has it. Opening minute of this second period tonight from Ball Arena. These two teams will open up, the Mammoth will open up the season here in Colorado. It'll be the home opener for the Colorado Avalanche in a couple of weeks on the 8th of October.
Boy, Logan Cooley looks good so far, doesn't he?
Sure does.
Looks explosive, more explosive. Hard to believe.
What's his ceiling, Dom?
I don't think we have any idea, Matt. And talks about some of the players he wants to emulate, and he interestingly didn't mention Connor McDavid. He mentioned players like Alexander Barkov, who two-time Stanley Cup champion with the Florida Panthers, known for being a two-way player. Obviously can contribute offensively, but can also shut down the opponents, and that's the kind of player that Logan Cooley wants to be, and I just think that speaks volumes about him as a player and a person, and his desire to win in this league.
Walker has it. Try to put high, and in behind the net, Gabe Smith. Zuber locks it up. Max Zuber, he's seen a little bit of NHL action. He's from Poland. Not too many NHL players come out of Poland. Played for Team Germany, I believe, in one of the World Championships. Good bid there. And it'll be played all the way back, and rushing after it is Zuber, and they'll say play on, no icing here. Peterka, rink wide.
There's another double shift for Peterka here. He was just out with Logan Cooley. Here he is out again with Tullio and Nord.
And I would imagine that's a real good opportunity to get one of your high-end guys going in advance of the regular season opener, right?
Systems, Matt, as we get a turnover here.
Peterka has it. He goes one-on-one.
End of a shift there. Otherwise, they would have been off to the races on a 2-on-1.
Yeah, end of the shift meaning out of gas, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, just, systems aren't tremendously difficult. I mean, when we talk about systems, what we're talking about is the formations that teams use in terms of how they defend.
Dursey on the follow-up and a backhander.
A great opportunity coming down the slot there from Dursey. But just, you hear in soccer, people talk about the 4-4-2 or different formations. Same kind of thing happens in hockey, and for the most part, they're not drastically different from team to team. There's just subtle differences in the way teams play in their defensive zone and neutral zone, and so for Peterka, the systems here in Utah are different than where he came from in Buffalo. And so getting him in these game situations will help him get more comfortable with that leading up to opening day.
Brock Nelson here on the draw with Logan Cooley.
Is that your dog, Matt?
It was a beautiful dog.
Yeah.
Cooley with a shot, steered away by Miner. Poppy McConnell, has really become a household favorite.
Shout out to Archie, as well. Our Mammoth.
Archie's a teenager.
Beloved Mammoth dog.
Get a face-off here coming back.
Thinking about the travel as we get a penalty here to the Avalanche, thinking about those travel difficulties. Some of those young players that, this is their opportunity to show what they can do, and all of a sudden your whole routine is disrupted. You're trying to prepare yourself mentally to play, but you know what? That's the kind of adversity and mental toughness challenge that you have to rise to the occasion and really to prove yourself. So an opportunity in some respects to show how you to respond to something like that if you can still come out and play a good game.
4 forwards out for the power play for Utah. Fanning on it was McBain. Peterka will pick it up and get it reset. J.J. Peterka to Sean Dursey. Wrister to the front, just missed wide. And Peterka tried to bank that one in off the back, I believe, of Trent Miner. Cooley And now Dursey. Dursey for Peterka. He shoots, loose in front, and cleared away. Good puck movement and a couple of looks for the power play.
Couple good looks there. Good movement at the top from Dursey, creating space on the flanks for both Peterka and Cooley.
Kraus, second unit out there. Daniil Boot, nice move. Boot to the front, he scores!
Beautiful.
Daniil Boot, wow!
Absolutely gorgeous stick work from Daniil Boot right along the wall. Now remember, it was Boot with a little bit of a mistake read on the Avalanche goal, and here he responds, showing what he can do offensively. Outside, inside, using his reach. And this time it's Boot that gets himself into the middle of the ice and into a scoring area where he rifles that puck. And just to talk about the way they describe Daniil Boot and the upside that he has, they internally with the scouts and player development, they think that he has the potential to be a player somewhat like Tage Thompson, Matt. That is a high, high bar.
Well, could you imagine?
Can you imagine? I mean, a mouth-watering prospect is Daniil Boot.
He had 28 points last season in the KHL with Lokomotiv, and maybe that's something we haven't talked about. Boot and Dmitry Simashev were teammates on that team. The KHL is the second best league in the world, and so they've played pro already for a couple of seasons.
Yeah, and just to remind some of our viewers, Tage Thompson is a lethal force. Huge size and skill and creativity for the Buffalo Sabres. Just an absolute beast offensively. So if Daniil Boot can develop into that, and he's just showed that he has that potential on that play. Again, wow. Exciting times.
Kraus and Sammy Walker picking up the assists.
Another interesting thing about Boot, Matt, is that his dad is a coach in the KHL. And a lot of times players that are the son of a coach have a pretty mature game because it's been coached into them, as we get a delayed penalty call here.
Yeah, delayed call against Colorado, and a holding call is going to put the Mammoth right back on the power play.
And these power play looks are also a great opportunity. Andre Tourigny talked about how, he was asked about what goes into making the lineups in these preseason games, and he mentioned the special teams and the ability to start developing chemistry there. So a lot of this lineup was built around power play units that we could see in the regular season getting reps together. Same thing with the penalty kill. So here's a look for Peterka, Cooley, and company on this power play.
Out high, Dursey shoots. That's sent wide of Minor. Dursey again. Cooley fires again.
A great shoot-first mentality here.
A giveaway to the corner, and now the Avalanche forcing it deep. And Peterka will look to move it along. Yeah, same unit that began the power play, the first unit on the recently concluded power play. Peterka, McBain, Yamamoto up front with Dursey and Cooley as the point men.
Good play by Jack McBain there, just patiently waiting and gaining the zone.
So here's Dursey to set it up inside the left point. Dursey all tied up.
Great battle there from Dursey.
Logan Cooley behind the net to Yamamoto. Across.
Keep an eye on Daniil Boot in the middle of the slot there.
Yeah, the goal scorer. Cooley. Cooley shoots. Now out high, Dursey takes some real estate side of the net, and Peterka can't put it home. This power play impressive.
Have to think that goal for Boot was a huge boost of confidence for him.
Cooley again to the front, and a shot. And a stop there. That was Monica.
And a chance for Peterka at the side of the net there. The extra stick handle took away the time he needed. Beautiful little dish from Logan Cooley into the slot. As you mentioned, Nautica. And again, keep an eye on Daniil Boot. He's got himself a little bit of momentum after that beautiful goal.
Yeah, he is set up as the left point man here in the waning seconds of the power play. Simashev is out there now, and he'll set it up in behind. Dmitry Simashev, teammate of Daniil Boot with Locomotive in the KHL a season ago. Simashev trying to force the issue in behind the net is a staple. Andre Tourigny's defensemen a lot of times have the green light. Back out high, and now curling back is Sammy Walker. Penalty is over. 1-1 the score here tonight in Denver. Puck played back. And the Avalanche will look to get it going as Marty Necas, the veteran, couldn't handle the pass.
18-5 now, the shots in favor of the Mammoth, as they have taken control, but a chance here.
Necas, he scores! Marty Necas, 2-1 Colorado.
Now it had been all Utah, especially with those power plays, building momentum. But one miscue is all it takes, Matt, to turn the tide, and you turn the puck over to the wrong guy. One of the best Avalanche players offensively, Necas, just springs free and is able to be all alone, and just that subtle move where he pulled the puck from right to left and then shot back to his right is all it took to fool Vanacek.
Well, the time of the goal, 8-12, even strength goal here in the second period. Marty Necas with his first of the preseason. And we get an icing call to bring the puck back down to the Utah end.
You know, even for these veteran players like Necas, you know, it's an opportunity in these preseason games to get that momentum going themselves, right? No matter how many years you've been in the league, you want to get these reps in. You want to start the season off on the right foot come day one, come opening day. So you want to get that rhythm and timing going, maybe a little bit of confidence as well. So it's not like these preseason games aren't important for veteran players.
And Necas, another shot that whistles wide of Vitek Vanacek. Back to the front, and Vanacek tracking that one all the way. Sanichka advanced it momentarily. Zuber kicked along. Lehkonen.
Sanichka thought he had a man open in the middle. Ends up passing that puck to an Avalanche player.
Stop there by Vanacek to get a face-off. 2-1 Avalanche in the second period. We're going to step out here. You're watching the Utah Mammoth on Mammoth Plus. midway through the second period. 2-1 Avalanche. The latest goal, Marty Necas at 8:12. I want to get back to some of your questions. SLC Puck asks Dom and Matt what went into determining who would play in which game today and who got the night off. Great question.
Great question. I touched on it a little bit. Andre had mentioned that special teams was a key factor in that decision, trying to keep, a power play unit together and some penalty killers that are going to be working together, hopefully come regular season, giving them some reps to get the chemistry going. There's some great puck movement here. Another factor as well is just giving players a chance to prove what they can do in their role. And so putting combinations of players together, but in a role that plays to their strengths. You never want to put a player in a position where he can't show what he can do. So Daniil Boot, for example, playing with some top caliber line mates, Logan Cooley and Peterka tonight, because it gives him a chance to show what he can do with top offensive players.
This one right back to the front. Cleared out of the corner.
And thanks again for these great questions. Keep them coming.
Modica, and now back out high. Cole, and that's blocked away. Goes the other way.
And a shout out, by the way, to Austin. SLC Puck, our co-host with Tyson Nash in our Nash cast last year.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. And the other thing, too, is there's in the preseason, you have to have a minimum of 8 quote-unquote veterans. What constitutes a veteran? It's the number of games that you played in the National Hockey League. Also, if you're a first-round pick, that counts as the veteran in terms of the number that you have. You need at least 8. Typically, home teams dress their veterans as the preseason goes on. Veteran-laden lineups, I should say. And so Utah's got a couple of games in the back half of the preseason at Delta Center. Can't wait to see Delta Center, by the way. But you'll probably see more veterans, especially at that time, with some of the players moving out, getting cut, going back to junior teams, things like
and
that.
Obviously you want to see how that full lineup starts to mesh together on those last couple of games before opening night. Give everybody a chance to gel together.
This one turned.
There's that great reach from Simashev, killing another 2 plays in a row and giving his team an odd man break.
And here he comes the other way. Walker drops it. Dursey with a shot. Simashev, and he was kind of sniffing around on that rebound there.
Just a great example of what Simashev can do. Colorado player tried to make a spin move on him, got nowhere, closed it off quickly, then broke up another play as we get a roughing call here. It's going to go against Utah. It's going to be against, I believe, Tulio, who fell on top of the Avalanche player and gave him an extra shove.
Let's take a break. We'll have the power play for the Avalanche when we return. 2-1 they lead it here in the second. Welcome back, and so glad you joined us tonight on Mammoth Plus with Dominic Moore, Matt McConnell, Adam Jamil in the booth as well. Out high, power playing it out there for the Colorado Avalanche. As they work it around, Brock Nelson has it inside the left point, and down low it goes for Marty Necas.
I mentioned the special teams combinations, right, that Andre wanted to keep together here, give reps.
Across, and Nelson with a shot. Vanacek the save.
Give reps to guys playing together that he hopes to see together in the regular season. So penalty kill rep here for Logan Cooley and Lawson Krause together. And of course, Sean Dursey and Ian Cole were on the back end. So opportunity for those guys to learn how to read and react as a group. Down a man.
Andre Tourigny, after one of the skates this past week out in Sandy, he said, look, first day we're working offensive systems, then we're going to work on the defense. Second day, day 3, we're going special teams.
Yeah.
And then here they are,
but
right?
In the past, they normally worked through all the systems over the course of about a week. And this year, they changed their philosophy, tried to do it all in the first 3 days so that they could really hone in on those details before their first game, so that after that they can continue to hammer away with video so that everybody is on the same page sooner.
Play it all the way back.
And just, again, gets back to the focus on what they can do to start on the right foot, knowing here's Necas again.
Yeah, Necas is in. A stop by Vanacek.
Knowing how small the margins are and the ground they want to make up to be a playoff team.
Cooley will deposit this one up the ice. And you know, speaking of training camp, it's only going to get shorter with the new collective bargaining agreement taking effect next year. A maximum of 4 preseason games for the clubs. Chance in front again.
Play, the intentional bank off the end board. Someone has spent some time at the billiard hall.
Jason Poland had a good look there for Colorado.
You strike me as a guy that played the odd game of pool back in the day, Matt.
I was terrible. Right back to the front. Vanacek trying to get the puck. This one sent wide. And again, Jason Poland.
No stick for Vanacek here. See if a player opts to give him one.
Covered and actually over the glass and out of play. A little bit of a dust up again. Some mingling, not really even a dust up, but we're going to take a break. 2-1, 5:54 remaining in the second period tonight in Denver. Ball Arena. Don't go anywhere. Back in Denver, 2-1, the Colorado Avalanche leading here tonight. Lone goal, Daniil Boot for the Utah Mammoth. By the way, Utah Mammoth says, question, guys. Who do you think is the funniest player or who increases morale the most?
Well, there's a few contenders, but you know what? One of the newcomers, Nate Schmidt, who Utah Mammoth fans will get to meet soon enough, is a real character. High energy personality. You talk to some of the marketing folks with the Utah Mammoth who had their media day the other day. He had a lot of fun with them. So keep an eye on Nate Schmidt.
Yeah, I would say Brandon Tanev, another newcomer, would be in that category as well.
Headshot. If you haven't seen his headshot, look it up.
Crazy Eyes. Played back by Manson for Colorado. And
I think you should do that, Matt, in our new media guide.
I don't think I think there's enough pictures you guys taking me sleeping on the plane with my mouth hanging open. I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nick Olczyk is prankster number one in a lot of ways, by the way, as this one will be played by Boot. Out high, Simashev. Right through the crease. Simashev will tee one up. Comes out high. Good keep there by Smith. Gabe Smith, a great future ahead of him. You were talking about him being like a role guy that plays such a big role. Simashev fanning on an opportunity.
Beautiful pass on the backhand from Lawson Krause. Simashev looked up, and when he did, he lost sight of the puck on his stick, but a great setup from Krause. You know, you think about these players, Matt, the ones like Simashev and Boot and the guys that really want to put their best foot forward to make the team.
What do they have to do? I asked you what Bill looks for, but from the players' side of things, what
the mindset you have to have, Matt, is that you got to make an impression, right? The last thing you want to do is go through a game and no one remembers that you played, right? One way or another, you got to make the coaching staff, the management remember you somehow. And obviously you do that by playing to your strengths, doing what you do well. Not easy to do, though, at this level against top competition.
A weak shot goes wide of the mark. Bardakov that time partially fanning. Out high, Vanacek. On a bid by Malinsky. And this one right to the front, covered by Vitek Vanacek. By the way, getting back to that point, our good friend Tyson Nash, the star of the Nash cast on Mammoth Plus. His dad always told him, you don't want them saying, you don't want to be saying to yourself, woulda, shoulda, coulda at the end of a game. You got to make that impression. Yeah. And you told a great story the other day about when you were in the Rangers organization and you come down. Would you mind telling?
I mean, we'll need some more time for that one.
Keep that to the intermission, maybe?
Yeah, perhaps.
Right.
It regardless, it goes without saying that, one way or another, you want to make your mark. It's hard to gather attention. There's lots of players on the ice. A lot of times it's just one or two moments in the game that.
Krause.
Another beautiful play from Krause, who's making an impression himself. Beautiful setup a moment ago.
Into the corner, puck possession, puck control has been good tonight.
Those are the plays, these NHL players are NHL players for a reason, right? Krause clearly making his mark. If you imagined that he was trying out for this team, trying to make the team, he would have stood out already. Martin Necas clearly has done that for Colorado.
This one's going to go all the way down, and we'll get an icing call. Lawson Krause on day one of training camp talking about how he really worked on the mental side of his game this offseason.
One of the ways that for me stood out, I was able to stand out, Matt, too, was not just on the ice, but, with the fitness testing that they do at camp before things get going on the ice. They put you through, it's not quite what it used to be now, but there used to be quite a significant amount of off-ice fitness testing that was done, and that was always another way that I tried to separate myself and make an impression. It was always by coming in ready to show my chops in the gym.
Well, you were one of those know your role players, right? I mean, you always had a spot in the league, and yeah, you played for a lot of different teams, but you were always in demand, and that's what I mean by fit. A lot of times players will score 40, 50 goals in junior, and they think they're going to be a goal scorer in the National Hockey League or college or whatever, and the ones that figure it out and evolve are the ones that make it.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a whole discussion in itself, but in college I was an offensive player. I mean, I was first team All-American my senior year, more than 50 points. I ended up making the New York Rangers, though, as a penalty killer. So the reality was at that time, the Rangers, they had a stacked lineup, particularly of tons of high-end offensive players. And so the reality was I wasn't going to make the team as an offensive player. In order to get myself a job at the NHL level, I had to do it another way.
Nelson steered away by Vanacek. And out of the zone that time, Tullio for Utah. 2:10 remaining period, 2-2-1 Colorado. A lot of the veterans on both sides not playing in really either game.
Here's goes Peterka, just got stripped, but showing some of that speed.
Chance out high, hooking penalties coming up against Logan Cooley. They may get him for the hold. Delayed call. And they get the young goaltender Minor to the bench. Across it goes, and touching is Cooley, and he'll go to the penalty box. And Colorado's going to go to the power play.
Now that turnover from Peterka, middle of the ice, led to Colorado coming the other way. Forcing Utah to defend. And there's just a little bit of a reach in up in the hands from Cooley.
All right, more reps for the penalty kill.
Yep. This time with Cooley in the box, we'll get Gabe Smith, who gets an opportunity on the kill with Lawson Krause. Remember what I mentioned earlier, Gabe Smith, a guy that is trying to compete for a role as a depth player, as a penalty killer, as a bottom six type player. And so an opportunity for him to show what he can do in that role.
Malinsky will drop it back. Marty Natchez with it. Kept at the line. Malinsky will get it down low. Natchez setting it up from in behind the net for Malinsky. Now Natchez back out high. Brock Nelson with a shot. Stopped by Vanacek. Puck into the corner.
You want to be aggressive if you're Utah, but careful about opening up the middle of the ice.
Victor Olofsson. And now Malinsky.
That puck was tipped on the way to Vanacek. A good save there.
Goes across, Olofsson. Good stick in front, Ian Cole. And this one out of the zone and all the way down.
Good job on the clear there from Smith, ensuring that puck got all the way down the ice.
Well, the Avalanche will bring it along under a minute to go in their man advantage.
Let's keep an eye on Simashev here in a penalty kill situation.
Yamamoto one-on-one shorthanded. Yamamoto with a shot goes wide. Brought back through center by Mark Sendin. Sendin working the right wing boards. Back to the line. And a shot over the net taken by Jack Hashan. That goes wide at the horn, and that's going to do it for the second period. So 40 minutes in the books. Boot got a goal to tie it at 1. Natchez then for Colorado to make it 2-1 through 40.
Now Daniil Boot making himself an impression in that second period. A beautiful goal from him. Utah controlled play for the first half, and then a couple costly penalties turned the tide, but we'll see if we can reestablish that and see who else can make a mark in the third.
All right, so 40 minutes in the books. 2-1 Colorado from Ball Arena, the site of Utah Mammoth's season opener here in a few weeks. We'll be back for the third period of play. We'll set it up a little bit ahead of time, but in the meantime, enjoy programming here on Mammoth Plus.
What a way to start the long weekend. Nothing better than this, the NHL Entry Draft 2025 from the beautiful city of Los Angeles. We are downtown in LA live at the Peacock Theater.
Welcome to the 2025 Upper Deck NHL Draft. The New York Islanders select Matthew Schaefer,
Michael Misa,
Anton Frundell.
Here, when we get to Utah, are they going to go to the center or are they going to go to the power winger? For me personally, until Kale Donay comes off the board, I'm going to keep pumping this guy.
you love him.
I love this kid.
It's your guy.
I love this guy. I love him as a player. I love him as a person. I mean, this guy's awesome.
So now you're saying Desnoyers is the guy that should be getting his name called.
You guys good with that?
Kick is in.
With the 4th overall selection in the 2025 NHL Draft, the Utah Mammoth are proud to select Caleb Donay.
To be honest with you, I don't even remember when they said my name and I walked up the stage. Kind of blacked out a bit, and it was such a surreal moment, especially to be in LA there with the family and friends. To be able to kind of get that experience with them makes the moment even better.
He can do everything. He's a two-way center that can provide offense and he can play defense, and he put his team on his back as a 17-year-old, and we're really looking forward to him coming into Utah. So happy to get you. It's unbelievable.
So excited. Can't wait to get things started. Thanks a lot for your trust and belief.
It's an incredible opportunity for us to pick at 4, and even a more incredible opportunity to get you in our selection.
Thanks a lot. Can't wait to be in Utah.
Stefan. Okay, real big. My name's Chase. I'm a reporter.
You know, it goes by so fast. Everyone tells you to enjoy the moment.
What do you think about the new logo here?
What have you heard about the Mammoth?
Give us the scouting report on yourself.
But honestly, if I had to redo it, I'd probably try to enjoy it even more. But yeah, you try to get the most out of it, and it was awesome.
We were able to kind of get the player that we had targeted and we'd watched all year from start to finish, and he has the ability to become a top 2-line center in the National Hockey League.
Tusks up!
There's 2 parts of the draft. It's day 1 where you're picking at 4. Day 2 was more about getting players. That's when the real draft starts for me. As I always say, nobody's going to like your 7th rounder. If they did, he wouldn't be in the 7th round. So you're not going forward as an organization unless you get value picks in the 3rd to 7th round.
First experience in the city was awesome. You get told a lot of great stuff about Utah, the mountains, and how gorgeous it is.
Max, have you been to Salt Lake City before?
No, never.
Yeah?
First time.
First time?
First time, yeah. Excited to see.
It's when you get here and land at the airport that you realize how beautiful and how clean it is.
Most of the kids that come in here, and obviously him, they're so excited. They're just absorbing everything, and to come around and get to know some of the trainers, our staff, and kind of really dig into what it's going to take to make the NHL. He'll learn that at Dev Camp. As I say to the kids all the time, it's the hardest thing they'll ever do in their life is play in the National Hockey League.
My name is Michael Ravo, they call me Big Man.
I am Max Pshenichka.
Dmitry Simashov, my nickname is Sima.
It's always a great feeling when you get to see your prospects walk in the door for the first time, and you haven't really almost seen some of those guys for almost a year.
Super excited to be here, excited to be back, excited to see my buddy Caleb too, so gonna be great to see him here. So thankful he got drafted to Utah.
Yeah, Smitty's he's a brother, and to be here with him, and makes the moment even more fun.
Hey,
first confidence.
This guy's a clown over here. He's my son right there.
Being here, living with the guys, creating chemistry and, creating relationships is huge.
I'm excited to meet all the boys again, the staff.
Creating a good bond together just so, you guys can bounce off each other whenever need be. And I think that's pretty important.
Straight. Listen to my voice. Wait. Jump, straight.
Left leg. Left. Yeah, a little bit. Nice.
Yeah, good.
You gotta get it over the hill and then it'll come. This is an easier putt for the putt.
That's it. That's it.
It's just so exciting. I think everybody can agree, just being here, being around everybody, the energy is just so ecstatic.
These guys are going to be sitting next to each other in the locker room one day on our NHL team, and those connections start through weeks and experiences like this, where they bond, they have laughs together, and they learn together as they go on this journey to being NHL players.
At one point in time, development camp was more of a see how tough you are and can you make it through the week. Now it's more about teaching. It's more about trying to get them to absorb the information that they'll need to become pros. A lot of these guys have the talent. They've just got to get the habits.
Big drive, push. Nice.
Looking forward to enjoy the moment and show who I am on and off the ice. To get that pro experience of seeing how it is, the environment with the team, and yeah, should be really exciting.
Clock starts. So how we finish is how we start. Everybody good?
I think I have a good background. I want to learn to be a leader for the young guys.
See some reflection from the staff, what to work on.
We just want to get better and better every time you come back, and I think that's the goal for me this year.
We're going to get the players that we need that will get us over the hump, that will help us win a championship here in Utah.
How important is winning for you? The most important thing? What are you willing to sacrifice to win? Everything? Because you will have to give up a piece of yourself to win. A lot of young guys want to win, and you have experience, you have winning pedigree. A lot of guys had the opportunity to win, either for your country or for your junior team or in minor hockey and everything. But further you go, further you realize you have to give a piece of yourself. So there's a price to go with the victory. We all want to win. We all want to raise the cup. But we need to be willing to pay the price to get there.
I think one of the best things that we can do for our young core is to continue to surround them with championship experience, teaching our young guys what it takes to be a champion, what it takes to win in those tough moments, what it takes to overcome adversity, to have the resilience necessary to be a champion.
You look like you have a couple new players in the pipeline here for you, but also just those couple of free agent signings that you've had today. How do you address all of those positions on this team, adding depth and strengthening this roster?
I think in the big picture, what we did today was tidy up the loose ends and make us a stronger team. And I think you're going to see that come training camp. And it's even part of this development camp. You see the talent that's on that ice. Those young kids are pushing. Now we've signed some free agents that are going to come in and push with our core. It's going to be probably the most competitive team we've had so far, and it will be the most competitive camp we've ever had here. So it's exciting times, and we were excited about the guys we added today.
First-time Stanley Cup champion.
You know what? I love the passion. I love the excitement. That's me to a T. I love that type of energy that people bring. That the passion amongst fans, like that doesn't kind of scare me away. That actually kind of brings me closer, right? But that sense of pulse, right? That sense of behind the team, of that that first real year. I had a similar feeling to that when I was first year in Vegas. What it means to be in a city for the first time, and you're kind of navigating how do we do things, and community engagement. Now the second year is kind of when you really start to ingrain yourself into the community, and that's something I'm excited for. there's so many good young players on this team, and being a part of that is going to be great. Being an older guy, try to help them in aspects of the game. I've heard nothing but great things about everybody, about the organization, the team, all the players. So I can't wait to get down, to be a part of this group, to get to work and start the season.
When you look over the entire season, what an inaugural campaign it's been.
What is the goal in year 2? It's pretty simple. Take a step forward. I think our team had an incredible year. There was a 12-point plus we ended with compared to last year, the year before. And now it's about taking that next step. Can we get into the playoffs? Can we be a team that's competitive in the playoffs? And I feel like we've taken so many great steps, but now this is going to be the new challenge for us this year.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Getting set for the third period of play here tonight at Ball Arena in Denver. 2-1 the Avalanche. The lone goal tonight, Dom, scored by Daniil But.
Yeah.
He's Russian. He's one of the European players, first-round draft pick. And it made me wonder, between periods, a lot of the kids and the players that come over from Europe, there's got to be some sort of an adjustment period, is there not? Like culture and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what that's like coming over and everything's different, right?
Yeah.
I never had to face that. I think if I was going over to Russia and trying to acclimatize myself, not knowing the language, not speaking the language, trying to listen to coaches in a foreign tongue, I can imagine that would be a huge learning curve for me. And so, yeah, that's in addition to trying to manage the pressure of trying to prove yourself in a high-pressure situation, which is an NHL training camp.
And I would imagine that goal would give a guy like But tremendous confidence, right?
Yeah, you saw a little bit of a spring in his step after he scored the goal. He's just doing what he knows he can do well, which is play the game of hockey, and that's, I think, the purity that he wants to get to. Kind of leave all that other stuff behind in terms of the adapting to the new environment. But it's amazing, right? You think about what it takes to make a roster, particularly for a young player like that who's on the outside looking in. You got to make an impression. He did that. Scoring that goal, there was a little bit of a glitch defensively in the first period. That's all part of it, right? You're not expected to be perfect, but you got to keep backing it up, right? One impression isn't going to be enough. You got to keep doing it every opportunity you get. It's going to take multiple impressions like that for one of these young players to crack what's a very difficult lineup to crack.
So I want to go back to something you said in the second period about making the New York Rangers, and you talked about you were an All-American at Harvard. You were a goal scorer in college. You adjusted your game. You became a penalty killer in the National Hockey League. When did the light go off for you in terms of knowing what it would take to make the National Hockey League?
That's a great question. I mean, to a certain degree, when the desire is there, you do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
The reality was, for the New York Rangers at that time, they had Hall of Famers playing on their fourth line. And for me to make the team, I understood quickly that I was going to have to play in a different role. I was willing to do that. I always tried to pride myself on being an all-around player, so I took pride in things like face-offs and being good defensively. I wanted to be relied upon in all situations as a captain when I was in college, so then when it came time to play at the next level, it wasn't like I had only ever tried to be an offensive player. And you see a lot of these really great offensive players in junior and in college not make it because, listen, the high-end skill guys at the NHL level are pretty darn good. And if you're not elite when it comes to that kind of a level, then you have to do something else. And a lot of guys aren't willing to make that adaptation. So again, these exhibition games are about guys playing to their strength. The great thing is that the coaches and the GMs, they put players in a position to succeed. They do give you a chance to show what you can do.
We talked about Daniil But just moments ago. What about the other Russian, that being Dmitry Simashev?
I thought he's made an impression as well. It's not quite as obvious to the naked eye as scoring that highlight reel goal that But scored, but these little plays defensively that he's made, shutting down plays. We talked about one that he made which was a little bit more easy to catch that led to an offensive chance, but those little plays are the things that the folks right over here and right over here that have the Utah Mammoth logos on their shirts are smiling and making note of.
So the third period is right around the corner, and we're kind of in the dark here. They've killed all the lights here at Ball Arena in downtown Denver. You know, two other things. I really didn't get to it in the second period, but I did want to talk about some of the players that we're not going to see for a little bit, and two stand out.
Yep.
Alexander Kerfoot and Liam O'Brien. So now, if they are out for any period of time, does that not open the door for a few others?
I think it's too early to say that. We don't know the extent of the injuries to Alexander Kerfoot or Liam O'Brien, so I don't think that's fair to say that there's a spot open at all. But the reality is, you can earn a spot by showing what you can do. But again, it's going to take a lot. One goal from Daniil But is not going to get it done. He's going to have to prove himself over and over again to the point where sometimes it's just like they can't get rid of you. That's how much of an impression you've made. And now that's the kind of team that Utah has. There's a solid lineup up and down, offensively, defensively. It's going to take a lot to crack this lineup.
All right, so just about set to the third period of play here tonight at Ball Arena. Arturi Lehkonen in the opening period for Colorado. Necas then the second goal tonight for the Avalanche here in the second period. Daniil But, as we've been discussing, with his first of the preseason on the power play at 4:56. And you know what? I'll take the power play tonight. It's not going to be exactly what we're seeing tonight when the regular season starts, but the puck movement and creating lanes and creating looks and opportunities, I think, has been very good.
It has.
For a first preseason game.
Yeah, Logan Cooley's been a big part of that. I think he's looked very dynamic tonight. Sean Dursey doing his job at the top of that umbrella, they call it, in the offensive zone on the power play, creating space. And that's what you want to do, is execute when you have your opportunities. As we get set to see who will make an impression and make their mark in the third.
Jackson Stauber is now the goaltender for the Utah Mammoth. So Vitek Vanacek goes 2 periods here tonight in Denver. And as I had mentioned earlier, that seemed to be the plan all along. Vitek Vanacek, 15 shots faced. He made 13 saves.
11 seconds here remaining on the Avalanche power play.
Got Cooley in the penalty box. That's a spillover penalty from period number 2, carryover. Probably carryover is better than spillover, but as Brock Nelson out there, and so Lawson Krause taking the draw and controlled by Colorado. Necas. They get it set up. Malinsky will send it around. And now Olofsson for Necas. Taken away, and in behind the net to the corner goes Necas. They'll reverse it around again. That penalty is expired. And so Utah back to full strength. Cooley stays out. Now Utah will get a partial change as Malinsky sends it right back in. Bouncing puck to the front. I mentioned Jackson Stauber playing the third period here. He was very good. I go back to that game in Vegas a year ago.
Let's not forget, it was the first shutout in Utah Mammoth history. That game in November, 6-0 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. Great call out there, Matt.
And we'll see the Golden Knights in Vegas on Thursday night. You'll be able to watch that on Mammoth Plus and Utah 16. Be in Anaheim tomorrow, ditto for those two outlets where you can watch the game. Is this one forced back into the Colorado zone?
I don't know for sure, but I would expect that we will see the captain tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Clayton Keller.
I wonder if we're going to see the entire line of Keller, Hayton, and Schmaltz. And we haven't seen Brandon Tanev. He's another guy. Kevin Stenlin, not part of either roster here today in Denver. Mikhail Sergachev, so that'll be interesting. It'll also be interesting to see when they decide to pare down the roster. They had 66 players in camp, not all participating. There were a few guys banged up.
Yeah, my thought is they will want to pare it down relatively soon. I think, again, getting back to the desire to get this team really honed in for opening day, I think they'll want to hone in the group as early as they can.
They're chasing this down is Max Zuber, and he'll outlet Kyler Yamamoto. Gabe Smith on it for Utah. Lawson Krause. Smith comes over to support. Dursey. A wrist shot blocked away out high. Jason Poland. He's had a good game tonight for Colorado. It seems like he's been around the puck a lot. Well, Poland will go after it. Sean Dursey and now Kyler Yamamoto.
Yeah, good shift here from Yamamoto. He's been all over the ice. Well, that's going to be a penalty on Ian Cole.
Ian Cole takes down the goaltender, and they're going to get the former Avalanche defenseman for an interference minor.
Cole, the defenseman, not accustomed to making a hard play towards the crease, but Cole is a physical specimen. And he put all of that muscle into the Colorado goaltender.
Yeah, Kyle Kaiser in here for the third period of play in relief of Trent Miner, who went 40 minutes.
Another look here at Dmitry Simashev on the penalty kill, number 26.
Malinsky. And now Sam Malinsky with a wrister towards the front. Good take away Simashev. Good stick that time. They can't get it out, however, and now they will. Sammy Walker sent it in behind the net. And Victor Olofsson will set it up for the Avalanche. Marty Necas right back in. Brock Nelson, veteran 5 out there for the power play for the Avalanche. And a stop by Stauber. Good track there. Yeah.
Quick shot off the flank. The shot came from a pretty solid angle. It wasn't like he had drifted too far out wide. Olofsson, who has a rifle. Tremendous pad save from Stauber.
Brought back to the line, Olofsson. Now Nelson out high. Malinsky, that shot blocked. There's Lawson Krause. Into the corner, Necas right to the front, backhanded out. And all the way down by Zuber. Jack Ashan will bring it out. Back out high, Ashan. Colorado getting it set up here. Half a minute to go in their power play. Aggressive penalty kill. Nice job, Gabe Smith, to force that puck out. Bardakov played it in behind the net. He's been around the puck a lot too tonight for Colorado. Sean. DeSimone got enough of the player down low to force the puck into the corner.
Yeah, good job by DeSimone using his reach. And a great block as well just there from DeSimone.
Ian Cole's out of the box. He'll turn the other way. Lead pass Cooley. I think DeSimone was picked up middle of the season.
That's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, Cooley took one from behind. Let's hope he's okay. And Jack McBain comes, or excuse me, that's Dmitry Simashev.
Cooley taking a hit on the numbers there. Going to be a boarding call.
Sakar Bardakov. So an opportunity here to tie the game.
Yeah, and Cooley going to the bench, however, remains to be seen whether he will be available for this power play. Earlier in the previous game, Matt, we saw one of the Colorado Stars, Cale Makar, take an inadvertent arm to the face. He went down hard, and here it's one of Utah's stars, Logan Cooley, taking a awkward hit into the boards.
Yeah, that was Sam Lipkin in the first game, getting an elbow on Cale Makar, and then Lipkin had to fight Captain Gabriel Landeskog.
Yeah.
That game down at Magnus Arena on University of Denver's campus.
And
Boot trying to jam it towards the front. He's got the lone goal tonight for Utah, and this one out of the zone and down.
And Andre Tourigny giving the kids a look here with the first part of this power play with Logan Cooley ailing on the bench.
Yep, Monica out there as well. Mikko Monica, Denver
Just
product.
Little missed execution there, right?
Yep, taken away. Parker Kelly, and he'll lock it up along the boards, try to kill some time.
Those are those little details, right, that just make all the difference. Little pass that's not on the tape doesn't allow you to come up the ice. Here goes Cooley. Great to see him back in full flight.
Logan Cooley bringing it right to the line, lost possession. So Sean Dursey on the reset. 53 seconds, opportunity for Utah to get this game tied up. Their lone goal, a power play goal from Daniil Boot. A little too far for Cooley that time, and it'll go all the way back.
Cooley going off the ice here.
Sean Dursey drops it, and J.J. Peterka through center. That's broken up. Kicked along by Parker Kelly. He upended Kyler Yamamoto. No penalty called. Could have been a trip. Lawson Krause. Out high for Yamamoto. Boot. Now Dursey. Sean Dursey.
Looks like Logan Cooley, Matt, is going to make his way to the locker room here as I keep an eye on the Utah Mammoth bench.
That one just whistles wide. Got down a guy. Good eyes. Eyes like a centerman, right? And we'll get a puck out of zone and out of play. Still 2-1, 2:26 to go in the third here tonight at Ball Arena in Denver. Welcome back, 2-1, 12:26 to go in the third, and just moments ago, maybe a developing story, Logan Cooley to the locker room.
Yeah, not good news if you're a Utah Mammoth fan. Obviously, we have no idea how significant he is injured by any means right now. Hopefully it's nothing major. Obviously, you would assume an abundance of caution in the preseason, but
let's hope, right?
Yeah.
Daniil Booth, the lone goal tonight for the Utah Mammoth. Lehkonen and Natchez, two of the Avalanche veterans on the scoreboard here tonight, as Monica will cut the puck deep. Sent around, Ian Cole on the pinch. Now Cole took it in behind the net, left it there. Back out high and deny. That was Tullio for Utah. Played around Nelson. And a shot towards the front. Jackson Stauber had a good poke by Stauber to the corner.
Yeah, good recovery from Stauber. Initial save kind of left it right in front of him, but used his stick well to direct away the rebound.
Backhander and a fan that time. Arturi Lehkonen in front. And forced all the way back. We got a whistle here.
High stick whistle here, not a penalty high stick, just playing the puck with a high stick. That faceoff will come outside the Colorado zone. As we get a look at that last backhand save and another great kick with the left pad from Jackson Stauber. I just was so impressed, Matt, with the way he performed in that historic shutout game. Just looked so poised in the net that game. Not easy to come in that kind of a situation as a young goalie. And the calm composure he showed there was a great, great sign.
A real goaltender family, the Staubers.
Absolutely.
From Minnesota, his dad as well, NHL goaltender back in the day.
Long-time NHL goaltender, Rob Stauber, and a Hobey Baker Award winner, Matt, which is awarded to the best player in college hockey.
The Hockey Heisman. As it's played in behind the net. Isaac Howard winning it last year. Michigan State Spartan.
Isn't the Heisman the football Hobey?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, too.
Thank you.
I like that.
We're hockey here.
Hey, teach me something every night, Don. Go slow, though. State school for me, okay?
How did your Michigan State football team do yesterday?
I fell asleep in the second quarter. At 11 o'clock Eastern. That's crazy. In behind the net. And now we got a fight, and it's Lawson Krause. And Krause is going to town on Bardakov.
And you will recall that it was Bardakov with that hit on Logan Cooley.
Well, so Krause picks his spot. Boy, Lawson Krause getting a lot of lefts in.
He sure was.
Bardakov might have been begging for a ride after all those lefts. So they'll separate. Majors.
You can't pretend you invented that line, man.
I didn't. I stole
Are you
it.
going to credit the original?
No. Nope. I can't. As Nick Olczyk would say, I cannot co-sign on that.
You mean you can't give away the plagiarism you just... Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Might have been a guy that scored back-to-back 56 goals for the Kings one time, but we'll get penalties here. Majors. Well, we mentioned Sam Lipkin's elbow on Cale Makar in the first game, and Landeskog, they fought, so...
Yeah, Landeskog, one of the leaders, captain for the Avalanche, and here, one of the leaders for Utah responding in defense of one of their stars. So they're going to give the extra penalty to Lawson Krause. Not calling it an instigator, but just the extra 2 minutes for roughing. And Krause continues to have words in the penalty box with Bardakov. Lawson Crouse was very open about some of the things that he was focused on in the summer in terms of coming back a better player. He talked about his mental game, just wanting to, weather the ups and downs of the season better. Matt talked about his cardio and just being in better shape physically to be able to respond to situations in games and over the course of the season, and also talked about evolving as a leader and trying to continue to be a better teammate and leader for his team.
Yeah, he looks great physically coming into camp, does Lawson Crouse. By the way, Max Sinichka will serve the extra 2. Kyler Yamamoto will bring it in. Kind of a one-man band there as Colorado will scoop it up, and here comes Brock Nelson. Former Islander Brock Nelson, he was traded to Colorado, and then he signed an extension with the Avalanche in the offseason. Chasing it down, Nick DeSimone. DeSimone, a real nice pickup midseason last year when Utah had some injuries on the back end.
Now, good play there from DeSimone. Right on cue, Matt. Establishing body position in the corner and making a little bump play to relieve the pressure and get that puck down the ice.
So Sam Malinsky, and he gets it back in over the line. Mark Senden chasing it, angled off, however, and in behind the net. A loose puck, and it's going to go over the glass and out of play with 39 seconds left in that power play to Colorado.
And you think about a player like Kyler Yamamoto, who's been noticeable in this game, doing a lot of positive things on the forecheck, controlling pucks, making plays. He spent most of last season in the minors. He's a guy that he's playing for his job, right? He knows that the margins are slim for him to make the team, and doing his part to give himself a chance.
Well, and you talked about making impressions and giving them every reason not to send you down.
Absolutely right.
Ian Cole turned the other way and cleared all the way down. And there are a lot of players like that on NHL rosters or close to it. Guys that you can call up from the American Hockey League that can fit in. All you need is an opportunity, and a lot of times that turns into an NHL career. As it's played back out high, Sinichka was out of the box. Good keep of the line, and now it'll be taken away, and here comes Zuber, the big defenseman from Poland. To the line, Lavoie. Set behind the Colorado net. 2-1 game here. Utah pushing a little bit. Manson that time colliding.
Yeah, broken stick for Manson there on that play. See if Utah can take advantage.
Comes across, Peterka with a shot blocked. Fed it out high. Peterka to the middle, a shot. Good look there for Monica.
Good puck movement here.
Lavoie's shot over the top. 21-19 right now, shots favoring Utah.
The net is off here.
They may get Stenberg here.
That's a cross-check call. And you're absolutely right, Matt.
Or Steinberg, excuse me. All right, so we'll check the penalty when we come back. 2-1 Colorado, 7:38 remaining, period 3 in Denver. the Mammoth have an opportunity to tie this preseason game on the power play here, and more goals so far. Daniil Boot, he's going to get another opportunity here on the man advantage.
Yeah, he's been pretty quiet, right, since that goal. We haven't noticed him much, but he will have another opportunity to make an impression here, and boy, it would be a pretty great way to make an impression to score the tying goal here. Some great work in the offensive zone led to that penalty call as a cross-check on Josh Manson of the Avalanche.
So Boot out there for the Yamamoto.
Obviously no Logan Cooley here.
Gabe Smith gets a look, right?
Gabe Smith, who took that face-off and won it.
And now Yamamoto, and he drops it for Boot. Boot looking around to Yamamoto, right back to Boot.
Beautiful try, just that puck bounced. The saucer pass from Yamamoto over the stick of the Avalanche player bounced over the stick of Boot, but it was a great try on the give and go.
So all the way back down the ice. That power play unit's going to stay out for head coach Andre Tourigny. Yamamoto. Peterka brings it in.
Peterka is showing that tremendous speed and skill. Just a little bit out of sync right now with his teammates. I think that's absolutely to be expected.
Sean Dursey. And now here comes Peterka.
Another example there, just not quite connecting the dots on the entry.
Now Peterka. And Utah get it set up here with 45 to go in their power play. Late in the third. 6:20 remaining. Comes back to the line.
Looked like it came out.
It came out. And so we'll get a whistle here on the offside.
These are those opportunities, right? Two missed entries on the power play where J.J. Peterka and company trying to enter with possession, but they failed to do so, failed to get set up. These are why you want to, as Andre Tourigny mentioned, put those special teams players in these situations so that they can develop that chemistry. Now's the time to iron out the kinks.
September hockey, the first game of the preseason, and
obviously they will go, straight to the video, right, to try to have those teaching moments so that with game to game, day to day here through training camp, things just get better and better.
Sammy Walker shoots and he scores, and he's tied it at 2.
A laser from Walker. And Simashev did a good job drawing the attention towards the middle of the ice before he laid it back to Walker. And then Walker just, walked into that space and fired an absolute bomb over the glove side. You see the Colorado netminder barely reacting to that as it already came out of the net. But a beautiful shot from Walker, who we already mentioned, former Mr. Hockey. It's the award for the top high school player in the state of Minnesota. Minnesota, obviously a hockey hotbed. A tremendous college career as well. He ties this game.
That's a power play goal for Walker. Simashev and Monica assisting.
Similar shot that we saw, different scenario with Natchez, right? But a similar shot where he just, that little drag where he pulls it as a right-hand shot to his left just a little bit and then shoots back to the right. Just enough to fool the goaltender.
Meanwhile, Marty Natchez behind the net. And they work it around Manson, and Natchez shoots, he scores.
Well, you hate to see that, Matt. Just a little drop in intensity after tying the game from Utah. And they just Just looked like a little bit of a lapse in coverage. It was Daniil Boot up at the top. Natchez, again, Boot on the wrong side, reaching. I'm not sure that was actually Boot's man, to be honest. It looked like he was the winger covering that right point, but Natchez wisely using that space at the top of the zone to create a shot. It didn't look like much, but it fooled Stauber on the way through. Probably changed direction as well, man.
So it's a 3-2 Colorado lead. And that was a very quick change of events as the Colorado Avalanche with a 3-2 lead will step out. 5:07 remaining, period 3. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Denver. 3-2 Colorado late. We just wanted to take this opportunity, Dom, myself, our entire outstanding crew here tonight in Denver, to thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed taking your questions, right, Dom?
Yeah,
and,
that was a lot of fun.
Just providing information from training camp. And we're going to do it tomorrow night from Anaheim. You'll be able to watch on Mammoth Plus and Utah 16 as well. This has been a lot of fun. A little bit different from our normal show.
We
right?
will be blessed with our tremendous full production team tomorrow. We're looking forward to seeing the rest of our crew in Anaheim tomorrow. And let's get back to the ice.
Absolutely. As we play it out of the zone. Brock Nelson gets the goal for Colorado. Natchez and Manson on the assist.
And it looked again like it was Ty Tullio. They just caught a little bit low. As we get Lawson Krause again.
Yeah, and he's going with
it looks like Steinberg here. And Krause.
Yeah. I think Lawson said you want more.
Did not see how this started, Matt, but Lawson Krause animated down there.
Well, he fought Bardakov earlier in the period. You wonder maybe if it's Steinberg sticking up for Bardakov. Who knows?
And how can you not love And that's,
here we go.
And that's how it started. It was Steinberg with the initial slash that Lawson Krause took exception to, but how can you not love the passion that Lawson Krause is showing here in his first exhibition preseason game?
Noticeable.
Right? I mean, you want to talk about how much these guys care and how much they want to get the team going as they go through camp. I mean, Lawson Krause leading the way.
So it's going to put Utah back on the power play, and can they get it tied with under 5 minutes remaining?
Yeah, I mean, they nearly connected on that give and go from Yamamoto to Boot. We'll see if they can try set up something here again. But they'll have to improve their entries if that puck goes down the ice, getting in the zone and getting set up with control. That's been an area of improvement here in this game.
Well, 4 forwards out for the power play. Peterka and Dursey, the 2-point men.
It'll be Gabe Smith taking this face-off again with no Logan Cooley.
Off the draw, Boot in a battle for it. Goes to the corner and rimmed around and out past Peterka and down. Well, this is the opportunity for the Utah Mammoth here. Maybe force overtime. He'll be brought back. Kyler Yamamoto skates it up. Smith. And take it away.
Another entry there, right? Just not quite connecting. You know, it was for sure something that the coaches will note and revisit in the video room tomorrow.
J.J. Peterka with it. Right to the line, stripped away. Chance going the other way. Bardakov is in. He shoots. He's stopped by Jackson Stauber. Turnover here. Bardakov's going to go back after it, but played by Stauber.
Yeah, really good patience there from Stauber. Not easy as he was deep in his net, had to wait that play out. And that could be potentially a big save here if he gives his team a chance to tie it.
42 remaining in the power play. Into the corner, Simishev and DeSimone. Simishev frees it. Walker got a goal in the third. They work around DeSimone. Simishev into the middle. Micah is cleared.
Right idea to try to get that puck into the middle of the ice. Just wasn't quite enough space there.
Sammy Walker. Now Simishev on Brock Nelson, turned the other way and out with it. Lehkonen.
That'll about do it.
Yeah, and the Avalanche are back to full strength.
And
take it away. Natchez is in. He shoots, and he sent it wide.
He's had his fingerprints all over this game, Natchez, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly has. He had a goal in the second. He's got an assist here in the third on the Brock Nelson go-ahead goal.
Showing why he's one of the premier playmakers in the NHL.
Peterka. And across now. Zuber to the front. Oh, and he had Boot. Boot can't put it past.
Boot was just a little bit too far away from the net. Great idea there.
Smith. Utah will get a change. We'll keep our eye on Jackson Stauber here. Under 2 minutes to go in the third period of play. Utah down by 1.
I'd expect Stauber to come on a clean offensive zone possession any moment.
Good save there, Stauber, forced into the corner. And Utah will get it out. Now they'll change. So that'll allow time and space here for Colorado to bring it into the neutral zone. Good breakup play there. That was Tullio, and now all the way back. So now Colorado will get a change. Tullio will bring it right back in.
And just no reinforcements there to collect that puck. And so Colorado will get the clear again here.
Back to center and sent in. Sean Dursey after it. Boot out there here for the final minute 5. Dumped all the way back in. So under a minute remaining. We'll try to get Jackson Stauber to the bench. Crowd starting to rise to their feet here in Denver. Turnover. Olofsson with it. And now behind the net for Simishev.
There goes Jackson Stauber.
Yeah, so he heads to the bench. 38 to go in regulation. Can Utah get it tied? Simishev. Send it around. Smith. Back to the line, Dursey. It'll go to the corner. Sammy Walker, he's got a goal here tonight.
Got to get numbers on that puck. You have the extra man.
All the way back, Brock Nelson. He sends it around. Natchez, and knocked away. Simishev, and he gets it out. 9 to go. Manson backpedaling. And And holding on to it, that's going to do it. Game is over. Colorado gets a late one at 14:41 from Brock Nelson on a redirect, and they win the game 3-2.
Well, some ebbs and flows to this game, Matt, for sure. At the end of the day, the result, obviously not the most important thing, but the evaluation. Young players, new players, evaluation of where the team's at with some of their systems, and so a great first step, and the team will regroup and try to be better tomorrow.
Power play, couple of goals tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there were some really good power play moments once they got set up in the zone, some really good puck possession, moving off of each other, making plays. I think the area improvement for sure is gaining the zone with control. That'll be something that they'll look at in the video room for sure. But like any preseason game, it's all about teaching moments and improvement from day to day. That's the goal. That's what the Utah coaching staff is focused on, is just this step improvement as you move from one day to the next through camp, right? You know you're not, firing on all cylinders on day one, but you want to be there by opening day.
Great point, Tom. Thanks for a stellar job as always tonight. Big thanks to Adam Hill, Jamil Hawkins, Carly Bullock. We couldn't have gotten on the air without them. Great people at SCG here tonight with us in Denver. And by the way, thanks to all of you fans, not only for watching and listening here tonight from Ball Arena in Denver, but for some great questions. And want to remind everybody that we'll be back on tomorrow, Mammoth Plus and Utah 16. We'll have our entire group in Anaheim at Honda Center. So until then, be safe, and thanks for watching, thanks for listening. And again, the final score, the Colorado Avalanche 3 and the Utah Mammoth 2. Good night, everyone.